sites, and there was no time for the Iranians to remove anything of value from those facilities because, in the president's words, we acted fast. A Democrat political upset in America's largest city.
33-year-old Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani has beaten Andrew Cuomo in New York City's Democratic primary for mayor.
My friends, I spoke with Andrew Cuomo about the need to bring this city together, as he called me to concede the race.
Cuomo, the former New York governor, had been the front runner throughout the race, and it was his comeback bid from a sexual harassment scandal. Current Mayor Eric Adams is running as an independent in the general election. I'm Donna Warder.
The Senate's on track for a Friday vote on President Trump's big, beautiful bill, according to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. He adds that Mr. Trump will be fully involved in efforts to build support ahead of that vote.
Bessent spoke to reporters after meeting with GOP senators in the Capitol as Republican leaders raced to reach consensus on key provisions. He predicted that Senate and House Republicans would reach a deal on raising the cap on state and local tax deductions, a major sticking point, in the next 24 to 48 hours. Bessent predicted the legislation would also pass the House quickly and make it to Mr. Trump's desk by the 4th of July deadline the president set for the bill.
Correspondent Bernie Bennett. NATO's Secretary General says the alliance will be spending trillions of dollars more on defense thanks to President Trump. He credits Mr. Trump's demands for higher defense spending for moving NATO in that direction. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures down 6 points, NASDAQ futures up 75. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
English, anyone?
President Donald Trump issued an executive order in April saying that commercial truckers who don't read and speak English proficiently would be considered unfit for service.
This is my coolant. This is my sight glass. I will never remove this cap while the engine is hot.
At the Driving Academy School in Linden, New Jersey, Director Bill Faria says some drivers aren't prepared for the measure to go into effect.
They speak English to pass the test, and then after that, they're not required.
I'm Haya Panjwani.
The Nation activists say they're planning a boisterous but peaceful protest during this weekend's wedding of multi-billionaire Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez in Venice. The protesters say they aim to spotlight a growing disparity between the haves and the have-nots. They're also upset that the fragile lagoon city will once again serve as a backdrop for an exclusive affair. About a dozen Venetian organizations have united under the banner No Space for Bezos. News and analysis, townhall.com. Federal judge ordering the Trump administration to release funds for EV charging stations in 14 states.
The Trump administration froze funding to build out electric vehicle chargers in more than a dozen states. It was approved by Congress in the 2021 bipartisan infrastructure law, and now a federal judge has ruled the administration overstepped its constitutional authority with that move. U.S. District Judge Tana Lin in Washington state granted a preliminary injunction freeing up the money destined for 14 states, but she denied it for D.C., Minnesota, and Vermont, saying they did not provide enough evidence that they would face irreparable harm if the money wasn't immediately released. I'm Ben Thomas.
If the forecasters are right, the East will have to endure just one more day of dangerously high heat and oppressive humidity before relief starts to filter in. In the meantime, stay hydrated and try to stay cool. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. So they go guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am that would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody. A waterlogged Wednesday. Hope folks are doing okay out there with the rains. I know, I think, at least from my perspective, I think it rained pretty much all night last night. I woke up because I'm a 52-year-old man, and that's what you do. You wake up every few hours to go pee or do something. Stretch or do something, get some water, and then go pee later. You know, the thing. So I was up at least, 4 times, I think, throughout the course of the night, and every single time it was steady raining. I could hear the rain just steady going. So when I finally sometime around the 5 o'clock hour, that's when I realized, no, I don't think it's raining anymore. So and when I'm looking at today's forecast, today's going to be another wet day. It's kind of, I was just thinking, we the flooding, and so we're going to have another day of worrying about flooding and rising waters, and just like yesterday, we're going to have another day, although it's a little bit more trickier today because we still got to deal with the water hanging from yesterday and the day before. And it got me thinking, I was like, which one's, yeah, I guess the other one's worse, but you think about, you look at the flood we had last year and what we're experiencing right now. And I'm kind of like, to put it in terms of warfare, which one's worse? And it's the former, not this one, the latter here. But I kind of looked at it in war terms. I'm like, all right, what's worse? The World War II blitzkrieg that we got with last year's flood, where it all hit us at one time, or like the long out campaign of flooding we're getting this time, where it's like, we're going to rain a bunch here over the course of 4 days. And this one's way better because at least you get lulls and get a chance to, maybe fight back or put some more sandbags up and things like that. But, neither one's great. But I was just thinking, I was like, man, this is, it's kind of, which one's worse? And for a second, I was thinking, I don't know, this one sucks too. But, at least this one you can have a fighting chance, whereas that one, you're at the mercy of Mother Nature in a fast form, and you lose every time on that one. So, but hopefully folks are making do out there. If not, please reach out. I know there's quite a few different things I've seen around Facebook and stuff offering assistance and stuff like that. 211. I always tell folks that's a great resource. When the floods hit last time, that with FEMA and all that. Now, FEMA ain't rolling in for this one, but if you do need assistance and things and looking for resources, don't hesitate to call 211. They can help you out as best they can to put you in touch with folks that can help you, whatever you're dealing with, whether it's flooding issues or some other issue, whether it's, we don't have a place to sleep now, we don't have anything, we need something, whatever it is. 211, they can put you in touch with resources to meet some of those needs. But I'm warning you, just kind of looking at the weather here, it's not going to get any better today if the forecast is accurate. Good news is, weather. Although with things like this, they usually nail, unfortunately. It's the garden variety stuff they don't get right. But this one, they usually get pretty good. But they are saying we could get another quarter to a half inch of rain today. I know in other parts of the country that's not a big deal, but for us it is. And this is, and I'm not no city structure expert or infrastructure or any. I don't. But this is something that, because I grew up in Maryland, I don't understand. Not growing up here, but what. Like where I grew up in Maryland, and then granted, yes, we get more rain, we get more everything, but we have gutters, drainage. Like, there's places for the water to go, not in the street. It goes down underground and then goes to river beds or wherever it's supposed to go. And why didn't they set it up that way out here? I get like early days, but at some point someone said, hey, maybe we ought to put like these sewers and drainage, and they can drain out instead of using the streets to drain collect all the water and drain it, because people might actually need those streets. I don't understand that. And so I would love to understand that. I'm sure there's some engineers that can tell me exactly why they didn't do it that way. I don't know, the dirt here. I was like, I don't know, but other places out west have gutters or drainage and things like that. I mean, that's another thing. A lot of houses around here don't have gutters. Like, I get it doesn't rain often, but when it does, they are handy. So I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's the, this reminds me this is because my wife and I got married and we got our first house and we're playing couple and all that stuff. I remember one of the things buying, like, I need some tools. I'm a man. I got to buy this certain tool set, whatever. And I remember I remember buying a snow shovel in non-snow shovel time season. I'm like, we're gonna have a snow shovel, and I have used said snow shovel a half dozen times over our 20 years of being together, but it's just one of the, and it's kind of funny because every time it snows, like when Goliath hit, I was the savior because I shoveled my driveway and stuff, and then everyone's like, "Hey, and so half the street used my shovel because I had one." So it's I've always been like that, but it just doesn't. I don't know. Why didn't we design it different so this isn't a problem? But I'm not an engineer. I'm sure there's a lot of issues that I don't know about. I'm just a dumb DJ. But anyway. My point is we're going to have to deal with rain today because, like today, we're dealing with an 80% chance of rain. And they're saying amounts between a quarter and a half an inch for today. Tonight, we are looking at a 30%, so a lesser chance tonight. Mostly cloudy, overnight low is 66. And tomorrow, we're back up to a 50% chance of rain, and they're saying between a tenth. Well, less than a tenth is what they're saying, unless we get a thunderstorm that rolls through. So maybe today's our last heavy day, and once we get through today, we'll start seeing a lightening of the rain patterns here. By Friday, we're down to a 30% chance, and then nothing for Saturday. But then as next week fires up, they're already hitting us with 20 and 30% chances of rain for Sunday and Monday. So we'll see. But as of right now, today's going to be a doozy, and maybe we'll start to see it lightening up here Thursday, Friday, and hopefully a day of dryness for Saturday. But we'll see. Let me give you the rundown for you for today's show. We do have a bevy of stuff for you. This hour, we're going to play interview. Jason Burke, he's the commander of VFW Post 12184, and Rebecca Kobos, who is commander of American Legion Post 28, joined us to discuss. They're having a big 4th of July get-together on July 5th, that's Saturday, at American Legion Post 28 at 6 p.m. They're going to have a 4th of July celebration. They invite folks to come on out and enjoy some food. They're going to have the honor guard. They're going to do a opening ceremony, and then and it is a recruitment event. So veterans, they'd love to have you come out. If you're interested in being part of a VFW or American Legion, there'll be lots of folks talking about that. But want to come out and just have a little picnic, enjoy some burgers and brats and all that good stuff. And so we'll play our interview we had, the conversation we had with them here in just a few minutes. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, the Chaves County Health Council joined us on Monday to discuss the Health Expo, and we're getting close to deadlines on signing up to be part of this year's expo. So we're going to play that interview for you here. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to have the American Legion Post 61 folks join us. Commander Lee and Auxiliary President Jen will join us, and we'll chit-chat about updates going on with Post 61. So then, of course, we'll have all of the newses of the local national variety, your Wall Street business updates, and all that good stuff, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. But first, let's have the meteorologist tell you the weather, which basically is what I told you. But here it is from someone who gets paid to do this.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're going up to about 80 for the afternoon high today. Lots of clouds, and we have a lot of warm and humid air coming in from the south, so showers and thunderstorms looking pretty likely. Scattered showers and thunderstorms until about midnight tonight. We're in the low 60s, and then more showers and thunderstorms will be popping up on Thursday. Most of those in the afternoon, partly cloudy, upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently is 65 degrees here in Roswell. It says light rain, although that's possible. I can't tell from my angle. Humidity is at 93%. Winds currently out of the north at 3 miles per hour. And as I mentioned, we're looking at that 80% chance at rain today. Could see anywhere between a quarter and a half inch of rain for today. Tonight, we're down to a 30% chance of showers, mostly cloudy. 66 for an overnight low. And winds, hiccups. Winds are going to be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we're back up to a 50% chance of rain, partly cloudy. So we might see some sun tomorrow, too. That'd be nice. Today, what do they give us today? They give us, they just say showers likely. They don't mention clouds. I guess we got them. But Thursday could see some sun. Winds will be out of the south at about 5 miles per hour. They're saying less than 1/10 of an inch of rain unless we get a thunderstorm tomorrow. Thursday night, we're looking at a 30% chance of rain, mostly cloudy, with an overnight low of 66. Ooh, a little cooler than the previous nights. Enjoy that. South winds are going to be calm. And then Friday, we're looking at a 30% chance for afternoon showers, partly cloudy, 89 for a high, so temps tick up a little bit too. And then Saturday, just sunny skies and 92. Saturday night, there's a 20% chance of rain and a 20% chance of rain Sunday with a high of 94. And then next week, looks like 90, 89 for Monday, Tuesday highs with 30% chances of rain. So hopefully that dries up quick, because you know what's happening later next week is UFO Festival and all that good stuff. So 4th of July and everything else. So hopefully all the rains we're getting this week will make it good for next week. That's what we're doing, hoping for here. All right, it is 7:18. Let's do this. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then on the other side, we're going to play our interview with Rebecca Kobos, commander of American Legion Post 28, and Jason Burke, commander of VFW Post 12184, talking about their big July 5th, 4th of July weekend celebration. Don't go away.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back. But you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Visit Bush Appliance in Roswell to see the Whirlpool washer with 2 ways to wash, thanks to the 2-in-1 removable agitator with a flexible capacity so you can take the agitator out for bulky loads or keep it in for items like jeans. Shop now at Bush Appliance in Roswell and get twice the washer that you have at home. Who you gonna call? Bush Appliance in Roswell. Stop by 111 West Country Club in Roswell or call 575-622-6390.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
Back to the morning show here, and joining us in studio this morning, Commander for American Legion Post 28, Rebecca Kobos, back with us, and Commander of VFW Post 12184, Jason Burke, with us as well. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
I got all the numbers right. See, I'm pretty impressed.
You
with
did.
that.
A lot of numbers.
I never get the VFW numbers right.
I know it. Yeah. I mean, it took me a year to remember what post I was.
Yeah, like 90210. What is it again? But this is pretty cool. I love. Of course, to be honest, we're pretty blessed here in Roswell. We have a lot of great veteran organizations. We have, of course, the 2 American Legion posts, VFW posts, Chavez County Veterans, and a few other groups I'm missing there. But we have a lot of great veteran representation here in town, and this is kind of neat because you guys are kind of saying, hey, let's we got the 4th of July weekend coming up here. UFO festivals, a lot going on with that stuff.
Right.
Hey, while all that's going on, let's have our own little shindig, at the American Legion post here and have a little 4th of July celebration for ourselves here.
I know. We're excited. We want to really invite all the veterans and their families out for hamburgers, hot dogs.
Hamburgers, hot dogs, yeah, brats.
The 4th of July staple food.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And then just some good old camaraderie, building those relationships between all the veterans organizations.
Absolutely.
Especially since some of those disasters have happened, even we're getting more rain right now. So looking for some of those things that might be coming up that our veterans in our local community might need.
Absolutely.
Some of those local resources, and we can kind of put things together to help each other out and help our veterans.
That's something that I think a lot of people don't realize is there is kind of a I don't know if underground network's the right word, but just kind of a network where say a veteran comes into town and say there's an issue, their car breaks down or whatever, they need a place to stay for the night or they need some money to get their car fixed or whatever it is. Every time that happens, the VFW, American Legion Post, we all kind of daisy chain in a phone thing and saying, hey, can we help this way or that? And that's been going on as long as I can remember here. Right. And so we kind of want to get a little bit more, I guess, say formalization of some of that stuff and do some of that where we can get more resources, more, I know there's some other entities within the county and the community here that's kind of working and trying to get, veteran issues worked on and things like that. And this is all kind of more of all that. And it seems like our VFW and our American Legions have been trying to kind of fill the voids in those creamy, like when there's the gaps missing there, that's when our veterans organizations are coming in and saying, hey, we can help here. We can kind of mobilize quick too, where, VFW or American Legion Post say, can we get $100 real quick to get this? And boom, boom.
Right.
That's something that I guess our organizations are able to and good at, and we want to be able to promote that more and utilize that better too.
Sure.
So.
Absolutely. When so I was recently up at a state conference, a few weeks ago, and there was actually a representative from the American Legion there at the VFW conference. That's one of the things that he spoke on was the importance of like an intra-organizational, activities and cooperation, because it's very important. The veterans of foreign wars, the American Legion, Chaves County's Veterans Association, we all have one common goal, one common goal. That's to take care of veterans, family members, and of course our communities.
Absolutely.
But yet each one has little niches too as well that we specialize in.
Sure.
So it's kind of nice to see it weave together.
Absolutely,
like you said.
And then kind of between the groups, the two American Legion Post or VFW, the other ones here, we kind of cover many broad bases here. One area's working with kids, one's over here working with other veterans things or different groups, and that's kind of how we work here. But events like what we're putting together here for 4th of July is kind of what else can we do? Who else can we bring into the fold? Who else is in the need? Who else can offer these supports? And obviously, come to the picnic. And as a veteran, I'm sure the VFW and American Legion we're all looking for more members to be a part of it. And requirements are slightly different for the two different organizations here. And of course, you guys will be happy to talk to everybody that wants to talk to anything about that.
And we're also collaborating with Chaves County Veterans Association. The Roswell Honor Guard will actually be posting our colors, so they'll be associated as well as Post 61 American Legion.
Yeah, American Legion Post 61 as well too.
We just really wanted to make sure to collaborate all of these veterans organizations and get all these resources out to our community members, especially our veterans who are out there and who may need these services.
Well, and that's just it. It's you have so many different parts of this community where we have shut-ins and homeless folks, and there's a lot of them that are veterans. And
we still have a lot of gaps, Mike. We do, but I think collaboratively we can work together to really fill those gaps, especially here in the Roswell area.
Absolutely.
Especially, even together with the veterans. I sit on that board as well. We're bringing awareness for suicide prevention with veterans, amongst veterans and their communities. So all of those entities really are going to play a really good part with veterans and having a better quality of life.
Absolutely. And it's kind of interesting too, and this is, something that all of our veteran organizations are dealing with is the veteran is getting younger. If that
that is true.
Like we keep staying the same age and they keep getting younger. I don't know what's going on here, but
that's true.
But I see what you did there. I saw that movie too.
But and so we have to change our ideologies on how we address and talk to veterans and things, because it's a lot of us, we think the Vietnam era veterans and those and they have a mindset that's different than your Afghanistan and Gulf War veterans. They just their backgrounds are different. They're younger, they grew up different, raised different experiences, and what entertains them, what moves them, what motivates them is different in some aspects.
Oh, absolutely.
And so that's where we as veteran organizations are evolving too. And I think this is all part of that too, where, yes, if you think of American Legion or VFW as the place with the bar, the hangout, and sure, there's some of that, but now it's evolving to, younger things, and you're seeing more different family-oriented things happening in some of the posts.
Well, and I think one thing that I know we see with American Legion and other national organizations, veterans organizations, is that we do lose some of those foundational premises that why we built these. We always have lobbyists out there fighting for our rights with American Legion and VFW. That's part of where your membership dues go.
Absolutely.
So a lot of times, even just being a member, not an active member, or being a member and paying your dues, some of those rights and those benefits are being fought for.
Absolutely. Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and it's not just the dues too. The dues help. That's what funds everything, but it's also membership numbers as well. Like Rebecca just said, that we've got people who go to Washington, they go to Santa Fe, and they tell our lawmakers, hey, this is what our veterans need.
And it's also helpful when they say, hey, my organization, it's 100,000 or 100 million constituents, or whatever that number is.
As long as we have and I know the VFW, as long as we have 1 million members nationally, then that comrade's voice is amplified 1 million times.
Yeah.
And so that membership really, really helps. They see it's just like signing a petition.
Absolutely.
Is really what you're doing when you join one of these
organizations. Yeah, VFW, obviously American Legion, they were created by Congress, so they kind of have to listen to them.
One would think.
But VFW has that almost equal foothold in getting in front of the Congress and getting and both organizations on a national level is definitely. I mean, I'm not trying to say VA benefits and VA all that is where it needs to be.
Absolutely not.
But I will tell you this: it is light years better today than it was 20 years ago.
It is better, but it still requires a lot of improvement. New Mexico specifically. Last time I looked, I don't know what it is now, so I can't promise. But last time I looked, we were like 47th in the nation for VA healthcare, and it's.
I'd be curious to see the number of percentage of veteran representation in the state versus like you're saying, we're like number 47 out of 50.
New Mexico has a very high population.
I would say we're probably
veterans.
higher in that number as percentage of veterans that are residents.
It's a retirement state.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people come here to retire, and New Mexico has the population-wise, per capita, New Mexico is one of the highest.
Yeah,
but yet we have one of the worst VA
and least amount of resources.
Exactly,
and I think just having New Mexico as rural, different areas.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have metropolitan areas like Texas and Arizona.
And unfortunately, that's where the hospitals, that's where the resources are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of veteran populations in rural areas. So that's where we need to get those resources, mobile veteran VA units, things like that coming out.
Which, since we're talking, quick plug, VA Transport, another great organization that they basically take veterans from anywhere, here in town or anywhere in southeast New Mexico to their doctor's appointments. Mm-hmm. It could be in Albuquerque, Lubbock, or whatever. And I know that organization could always use more volunteers, drivers, and financially right now I think they're doing pretty good. They got some good support with the vans and with the maintenance. What they really need is volunteers, folks that can drive.
I've seen some billboards around town, for them.
Yeah, well, I know there's like a state initiative now where they're trying to. I've seen. Like when I was on vacation here, we were driving up by Albuquerque area, and I was seeing the billboards for, if you're a veteran and you need rides to medical things statewide, call this number. And I'm going to take a stab. Our Veterans Transport's pipelined into that network system.
They are. They're a little bit separate because they don't take any state or federal funding.
Gotcha.
However, they are sitting pretty healthy, and they are always welcome to take any of our veterans here in the local or surrounding areas to any of their appointments.
So if you need appointments or if you'd like to volunteer, please reach out to them. Matter of fact, come to our shindig here, which we need to talk a little bit more about.
Yes.
But
one of our members is, or a few of our members are drivers and Magle
Durant. Some of ours, we got one or two in our that posted are drivers as well too. So, but let's talk a little bit about the event coming up here 4th of July weekend. Now that's going to be the 6th.
The 5th. On
I keep
Saturday.
That. So everyone go light your fireworks and have fun Friday, and then join us at the American Legion Post facility there on Montana.
1620 North
1620.
Montana.
It's right there, but up the street or down the street, depending on your perspective, from the Joy Center there, and
right next to the baseball fields. Basically.
Can't miss it. Matter of fact, if you're out at Church on the Move's fireworks show at Cielo Grande, is right around the corner from there.
Watched it from my backyard.
Oh, that was amazing. We worked as a radio station, and we were right there. And those drones, it's pretty impressive. So.
We had a pretty good parking lot full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when they were shooting fireworks off the drones, did you see that?
Yeah.
They had the Statue of Liberty, and then the torches that was pretty cool. Anyway, sorry, kid with
And we're going to allow people to bring, of course, fireworks. We have a big parking lot that we can do fireworks. And if you have anything left over from the 4th, we really want to celebrate
field out there too.
Our nation's independence and share it with all our friends and comrades.
Absolutely, and of course, come bring your family and come. It's a family event. We're just coming out here and cooking out and celebrating America and. Love to have some people get together. And like I said, veterans, families, come on down. It's always, anytime you get a bunch of veterans together, you shoot a lot of similar dirt.
Crazy,
stories happen.
Things get a little sideways once in a while. You get a bunch of veterans together.
Stories get bigger. I'm telling you,
right? Get bigger. And new stories are often made.
Sure, if we're going to make it in the building.
Yep.
But,
the colors will be posted at 6:00 p.m. and we'll get the festivities started.
Yeah.
And
do they need to
everyone's welcome.
RSVP or anything, or just
No,
come
just
one,
come on
come
out.
on?
Come out.
just
Bring your families,
Bring the
family event.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have a lot of different veterans organizations information
Okay.
out there for veterans if they just, you know, want to pop in and grab
Excellent.
some of that.
Good
That'll
deal.
be great.
Will the bar and everything be open for folks
Yes,
if they
sir.
want to have a beverage or two?
Yes.
And kick back. Yeah, that's good.
Non-alcoholic, alcoholic beverages. You know,
Gotcha.
we want to support those who are
Oh,
in
yeah. We
recovery.
got your soda and water and
yes,
teas and all that good
absolutely.
stuff.
And then we also have those other drinks.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Well, now it's like this is, I guess this is a younger thing where now they do like the mocktails and it looks
The
like
mocktails,
like
yes.
everything
Yeah.
is there except the alcohol part.
A mocktail, is that what they call it now?
Yeah, they call it mocktail.
Because it used to be like a virgin whatever,
Yeah.
like a virgin pina colada or
Yeah,
something.
now it's
You know,
mocktail.
now it's a mocktail. Okay, didn't know that. I'm behind
with the
get
pinky.
with the
I'm trying.
What time does everything start there on the 5th?
6 o'clock
6
p.m.
p.m.
6
So
o'clock.
so get out there, get you good spot and stuff. About 6, we'll do the opening ceremonies there, the presentation of the colors, and then we'll roll into the eating and celebrating and just
We're also
hanging out
on-
and socializing.
We're also going to be doing some recruiting too. You know,
Yeah.
we'll be recruiting and
Yeah,
We have some good giveaways too. Both organizations have some giveaways
Yeah.
that you can enter in for a drawing to win. So
Could walk away with a few door
Yeah,
prizes.
yeah,
there you
we're doing
go.
some raffles and
some swag.
And I know if you're interested in joining one of the organizations, I know for American Legion to be as a Legionnaire, pretty much if you served honorably in the military anytime after Pearl Harbor, you're pretty much eligible to be a Legionnaire. I know with VFW you have to have certain windows of time of service or served in a combat zone.
basically, in a nutshell, for the veterans of foreign wars,
Mhm.
if you've ever served in a combat zone, received hazard fire pay, or South Korean service.
Gotcha.
That's in a nutshell. You know,
To be
that's-
honest, just about anybody who's been in the military the last 20 years is probably
Just about.
qualified.
Yeah. And who knows,
Even in
who
some
knows
ways,
what's going to happen in the next few months? You know,
Yeah.
Like mine was Kosovo. That's where I
Kosovo,
got
yeah.
all my stuff.
Yeah.
is,
Well, it's funny because all three of us right now, we're all dual members of Legion and VFW. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
and it's we just had busy time of service
Just-
and
yep.
just a lot going on here. And of course, obviously for our wartime veterans, Vietnam, Korean, World War II, if we don't have many of them left.
We've got
but
2 at our post.
There's still a few floating around, but not too many.
We recruited 2 World War II veterans just a few months ago
That's it. And
At the Veteran Symposium.
at the Veterans Symposium. Yeah.
And of course, while we're talking veteran stuff, recap. I know here a couple of weeks ago, back in June here. Well, technically it's still June, right? And so, but earlier in June, around Flag Day weekend here, we had another joint flag retirement ceremony out at Post 28. I did see
Yes.
pictures and things. I was out of town that weekend, but
We did. It
That
was a
sounded like it was a
very
big event.
successful event.
It was good.
deal.
A lot of my executive board members really helped out. My first vice, second vice, finance officers. We all really just came together. Of course, VFW was there and able to support us. And it was a really nice event. Roswell Fire Department was out there just to make sure.
keep us out of trouble.
Yeah.
Veterans with fire together, we need lots of supervision.
Exactly.
It's pretty big. Pretty big.
That's why there
fire.
wasn't any alcohol available.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Not until afterwards.
But,
So we had to
afterwards.
keep that bar closed.
Yeah.
But if you missed that, I invite you the next time we do, and we'll announce on the radio and talk about that. But the next,
Absolutely.
I'd love to invite families to come and see. If you've never seen a flag retirement ceremony, and that's it, they go by the book on the proper, according to flag etiquette, on how to retire a flag, and they do it, stripe by stripe, and of course, a lot of times folks will cut the stars out. And they'll keep those as keepsakes for maybe an honor of their family member that was a veteran or themselves, or many people have different reasons for having them. And we usually give those out as like a personal token, or if you'd like one and then whatever's left over goes into the fire with the rest of the flag there. But and I know.
And as always, American Legion 28 always receives
Yeah, I was about to
serviceable
say-
flags.
Yeah, if you've got flags that are no longer serviceable, you can drop them off at the Post 28 there. I know there's some scout troops, I think, that take them too. And either way, they all kind of congregate to the same place, and then we retire them all together here. So,
And that was, like Rebecca said, that was another joint function that we took part in. And
yeah,
It's
more of those.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives it a little bit more ceremony, makes it a little bit more special, and when you get all those organizations together.
Absolutely. So, quick recap here. Come and join us July 4th weekend on July 5th at American Legion Post 28 there on Montana, 1620 Montana. 6 p.m.'s when the event starts. We'll start with the Honor Guard, the Color Guard, doing a presentation of colors there straight up at 1800, 6 o'clock. And then after that, we'll have some cookout and celebrate and chit-chat and congregate. Real quick while I got you, any VFW events we got on the horizon we want to put on people's radar?
As of right now, not yet. We are gonna plan some.
I know you just had a Dine to Donate over at the Texas Roadhouse.
Actually, Dine to Donate. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I forgot about that. So that's actually tomorrow.
Okay, that is tomorrow. I was thinking it was coming
Dine
up
to
there.
Donate is tomorrow.
Very good.
From 3 to 10. You just
that would be
and-
Wednesday.
Wednesday,
as you're hearing this.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. 10% of your order, 10% of the total of your order gets donated to the VFW here.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a great deal.
Customers have to let their servers know if
Yes.
they're going to donate?
Usually you have to bring the flyer or
if you
bring it on your phone or a paper copy, and it works with carry out too. So
it actually doesn't.
Oh, it does not.
Yeah, no,
okay.
they don't do carry out.
Okay, I think they used to, and I guess they stopped doing that. But so when you come in to bring that flyer with you or put it on your phone there.
And also, if you're at Texas Roadhouse and you want more information about the VFW, that very first booth has some QR codes for the VFW on it.
Scan.
Now, obviously, if somebody's sitting there enjoying their dinner, don't hang your phone over the. But
Just give them excuse me.
I got to scan this. Sorry.
Smile. I'm going to take a picture.
Absolutely. And of course, and if you can't make it out here on Wednesday, then join us here on the 5th at American Legion Post 28, and we can get you all that information.
And if you're qualified to join the VFW, or if you don't know if you're qualified, you can still. We meet the last Thursday of every month at Grace Community Church at 7 o'clock. So we will actually be having a meeting this week as well.
If you happen to want to come and know if you're interested, just bring a copy of your DD-214 with you.
DD-214
and tell you real quick if you're eligible or not.
Most definitely. And also, too, I want to congratulate Mac Dyer, our outgoing post commander. He was just elected as state senior vice commander.
Oh, congratulations.
So, yep.
It means more gas receipts and more mileage as you got to hit a bunch of posts across the state now. So.
Yep, he's going to be doing some traveling.
Yeah, absolutely. Rebecca, for Post 28, is any events, anything we want to, or I know, of course, your facility is available for parties and quinceañeras and rentals as well, too, for public and private events and things. So.
And, of course, our Peanuts canteen is open usually from 4 o'clock in the evening until close.
Okay.
So just depending on customers who come in, if the bar is full, then they stay open until closing. Otherwise, we will have our general membership meeting on July 7th at 6 o'clock p.m. So anyone is welcome to come to see what we're about as well.
Yeah, and same facility you'll join us at here on the 5th.
Yes, at 1620 North Montana.
Absolutely. So that is, again, 6 p.m. on July 5th. Come celebrate the 4th with a bunch of veterans. And we're going to have representation from all American Legion, VFW, and everybody then that wants to come. Come on down and have some fun.
It's going to be a party.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. Good deal.
All right.
Well, thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The City of Carlsbad, Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Mexico, and National Fitness Campaign are announcing a collaboration to bring an outdoor fitness court and digital wellness programming to Carlsbad. The fitness court, located at 511 Riverwalk Drive in Carlsbad, is opening today at 1 p.m. with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. The fitness court was developed by the City of Carlsbad and NFC to expand free access to high-quality workouts and create equitable access to exercise for communities across the region. Casey Conley has been formally sworn in as Deputy Chief of Staff for the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Office of Congressional Relations in Washington, D.C. That's where he will help lead the agency's legislative strategy and engagement with Capitol Hill. Conley, a Roswell native who worked as the City of Roswell's Administrative Chief of Staff before stepping into his new federal position, is making Roswell proud in his new role of service to our great nation. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Still screaming, dinner's ready? Those days are over. All you need are a few Amazon Echoes to have a household intercom system. I'm Kim Commando for Home Title Lock. Go to HometitleLock.com and use promo code Kim to protect your equity from scammers. You'll get a free title report plus a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. Good news, you have access to today's version of the home intercom. It's super easy to set up. To get started, you need a few Amazon Echo speakers. The Echo Pop is great for this. They're about $40 each. Next, make sure they're all linked to the same Amazon household account and they're all on the same Wi-Fi network. Now the fun part. Say, Alexa, drop in on, followed by the speaker's name. Say it's the kitchen, bedroom, or garage. You'll hear a tone and then start talking. Here's what I might say to Barry. Alexa, drop in on the bedroom speaker, and then, come on, we're late. I'm always on time. My husband, not so much. Start your day with my free newsletter to be tech ahead. Sign up at getkim.com. If you own a home, listen up. Scammers are getting smarter, and they're targeting your home title. Here's how it works. With a forged signature, a fake notary, and a small fee, these shady scammers can transfer your home's ownership on record. Then, criminals can take out loans or sell your home all without you even knowing it happened. Next thing you know, you get a bill or a foreclosure notice. What a nightmare. You need protection from these scams. I recommend Home Title Lock. Right now, my listeners get a free title history report and a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of your title, urgent alerts to any changes. And if fraud does happen, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. This is serious stuff. Do not become a victim of a title scam. You need to take action and protect yourself. Go to HometitleLock.com today and use promo code Kim. HometitleLock.com, promo code Kim. Get a free title history report and a free trial today. Go to HometitleLock.com, promo code Kim.
Weather this hour brought to you by Southwest Bearing under new ownership. Custom solutions for your heavy equipment. Hydraulic hoses, hose repair, bearings, seals, sprockets, belts, tools, fluids, and fittings.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're going up to about 80 for the afternoon high today. Lots of clouds, and we have a lot of warm and humid air coming in from the south, so showers and thunderstorms looking pretty likely. Scattered showers and thunderstorms until about midnight tonight. We're in the low 60s, and then more showers and thunderstorms will be popping up on Thursday. Most of those in the afternoon, partly cloudy, upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. We've been helping local businesses thrive for over 25 years. You might know us for printer products, but we're your one-stop shop for cutting-edge office technology. From managed IT to video security, audio-visual technology, and more, DSI has everything you need. We're flexible, local, and have the resources of a national corporation. Be more productive. Make more money. DSI, the heartbeat of business. Visit DSINM.com.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. If you're a soccer fan, you might be interested to know, you probably already do know if you're a real soccer fan, that a guy that is kind of a hero for the Mexico soccer team back in 2012, Oribe Peralta, will be speaking at the Pearson Auditorium at NMMI. That'll be Friday night. He's a four-time Liga MX champ, and his big claim to fame is scoring both goals when Mexico beat Brazil 2-1 for the gold medal at the 2012 Olympic Games. You can look into this at coltsoccercamp.com, although I do believe all the tickets are sold out. But this is a precursor to a week-long summer soccer camp next year for 14 to 17-year-olds. Same website, coltsoccercamp.com. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The Federal Reserve will continue to wait and see how the economy evolves before deciding whether to reduce its key interest rate, Chair Jerome Powell said Tuesday, a stance directly at odds with President Donald Trump's calls for immediate cuts. Powell told lawmakers, for the time being, we are well positioned to wait to learn more about the likely course of the economy before considering any adjustments to our policy stance. Ford is recalling 133,000 Aviator SUVs in the United States because parts, including rear door window bars, may detach. That's according to the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The recall covers Lincoln Aviator models between 2020 and 2025. McDonald's and Krispy Kreme are calling it quits, ending their partnership in the United States as the company struggled to manage the cost associated with their venture. McDonald's planned to sell Krispy Kreme donuts as part of its breakfast menu at more than 14,000 stores. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true. Trusted.
Check out some of the June savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select bottles of Kraft salad dressing are 2 for $5, and select cans of Food Club veggies or tomatoes are 68 cents each. In produce, Washington red cherries are $2.99 a pound, and bags of Dole garden salad are 99 cents each. In the meat department, family packs of boneless, skinless chicken tenders are $2.97 a pound, and family packs of boneless sirloin cut pork chops are $1.97 a pound. These are just some of the June savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
The 2025 UFO Festival is coming to downtown Roswell July 3rd through the 6th.
Many files are classified, but here's what we know so far.
Food trucks, vendors, live entertainment, the human and pet costume contest, the drone show, and the UFO light parade. Sponsors include XL Energy, Crumlin Auto Group, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Pecos Valley Production, Dion's Pizza, Labrino Foods, and Pioneer Bank.
The classified schedule of events can be found at UFOfestival.com.
Presented by the City of Roswell, Main Street Roswell, and paid for in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You'll be one smart cookie when you try Bluebell Cookie Cake Ice Cream, a sweet cream ice cream loaded with chocolate chip cookie cake pieces and swirls of chocolate and vanilla icing. This cookie cake ice cream really takes the cake.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Walmart Supercenters.
Lights, camera, action. Get superhero savings during our summer blockbuster sales event going on right now at Roswell Ford. Hey Roswell, you don't need to be a hero to pay zero. Drive home a new Ford with zero down and zero payments this summer. Plus, at Roswell Ford, everyone gets employee pricing. You heard right. At Roswell Ford, you pay what we pay on our huge inventory of new Fords. Stuck in your loan or lease and want out early? Roswell Ford can get you released, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Don't let the credit villains keep you from driving your dream car. At Roswell Ford, getting approved is a possible mission, so you can pay what we pay. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find the best car and get massive American-made savings and the best car buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, because we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balances refinanced to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Picture this. You're behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor. You're effortlessly breaking ground, moving piles of rocks just by moving a lever, and enjoying the sun as you clear brush across your pasture. We could keep trying to put you in the moment, but to really understand what this feels like, you just have to get in the seat.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:54. Got a few minutes here before we get you into top of the hour news
and all of that and get into next hour of the show. Stay tuned. Next hour, about 8:15 or so, we're going to play our interview we had earlier this week with the folks from the Chavez County Health Council, Carrie Moore and Jennifer Smith, and also had folks from the Boys and Girls Club to join us. Well, we talked about the Health Expo that's coming up here in August, new location this year at the Roswell Mall because of flooding, obviously, at the convention center. It's not available, so it's going to be at the mall this year, but we're running towards the end of your opportunity to still have a booth at this year's Health Expo. So we'll play that interview next hour talking about that. Of course, weather permitting on this and all that too as well, but in case you haven't checked it out, Roswell Nights guys have been doing their movies in the park every Friday. Free movie at the Rust Decay Complex there, which is located at 1500 North Grand. Free movie every Friday night through August 8th, and the movies will start at sunset roughly around 8:30 or so. You can go to roswellnightsguys.org. You can see the full list of each movies that are playing every Friday. This Friday night, the movie on tap is The Wild Robot. Next week, July, they're taking the week off UFO Festival. So next Friday there will not be one. But then July 11th, they'll return, and the movie is Elemental. And then July 18th, they're going to be showing the movie Disney's Wish. July 25th, they're going to show The Princess Frog. August 1st, Inside Out. And then they'll wrap up the summer movies on August 8th with Doolittle, the Robert Downey Jr. live action movie. His name is Doolittle. So, again, you can learn more at roswellnightsguys.org. And they're always looking for more volunteers in part for their organization, too. This is a grassroots thing they started, and literally one or two people said, hey, I miss our summer movies. We're going to bring that back. And they started doing this, and they raised money to do this, and that's exactly what they're doing. And they want to keep doing more things like this. So roswellnightsguys.org is their website. I invite you to check them out and see what you can do to get involved with what they're doing. Don't forget also, with next week will be 4th of July, but of course UFO Festival and all that's going on with that. If you want to plan your UFO Festival, you can go check out the UFO Festival's official website, which is UFOfestival.com. Very easy to remember. And you can go there and you can see an entire schedule of everything that is a part of this year's UFO Festival, including what's going on at the UFO Museum and Research Center, and also with Galacticon and all the other different events that are a part of this year's UFO Festival. All of the schedules, what's happening where, whom, what, music. There's going to be the two stages, one at each end of the festival, one at the north end, the main stage, and their cultural stage at the south end. And they're going to have music going pretty much from Thursday through Saturday, or Sunday, I'm sorry, of the UFO Festival. And because of the 4th of July holiday, the city's closed on Friday, and so they were going to close the streets Thursday, and so they said, you know what? We'll just add a day of festival. So this year it actually starts a little earlier. Most of the events and booths and things will be open and going on Thursday of next week. So just make a note of that. And like I said, you can go to UFOfestival.com for all things UFO Festival. Also, Galacticon, which is also part of it, this year is going to be inside the building right across from the UFO Museum. Used to be Roswell Home Furnishings. They're the Galacticon's in the Lazy Boy Studio there this year because of the convention center being unavailable due to the flooding. So that's where Galacticon is this year. You can go to galacticon.com. And I think it's RoswellGalacticon.com. I apologize. And see the entire schedule event there. It's also on the UFO Festival website, but you can go there. And I believe tickets are $5 admission into Galacticon. They do have a all pass, I think, for $25, and I think you get a little bit of swag and stuff for doing that too. But again, you can go to the Galacticon website and find all of that out there. So
But yeah, make plans. There's a lot of stuff, and it's kind of neat because, I mean, this is kind of a, with the floods from last year, they kind of had to refocus on how they do this year. And in actuality, it kind of makes it neat because everything's right downtown. You could literally park in the off Virginia there, right behind the courthouse and that parking lot there, and walk right across the block, the next block over, and enjoy all of the festival stuff right there. So kind of handy this year. All right, it is 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Based on remarks by NATO's leadership, it looks like alliance members will concede to President Trump's demand that they spend more on defense. The NATO summit now underway in The Hague. There was nothing unconstitutional about the president ordering the destruction of Iran's nuclear program. That, according to House Speaker Mike Johnson.
The strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities were clearly within President Trump's Article 2 powers as Commander-in-Chief.
The president is challenging a preliminary intel report suggesting that Iran's nuclear arms program has been set back by only a few months. In the New York City Democrat mayoral primary, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has conceded to Socialist State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani.
Cuomo told his supporters Tuesday night, quote, "Tonight was not our night." Earlier Tuesday, Decision Desk HQ projected the race would head to a ranked choice count as Mamdani held a solid lead over the former governor. Most polls leading up to Election Day showed Cuomo leading, though not outright winning in the first round. Whoever wins the Democratic nomination will be the favorite to take on embattled Mayor Eric Adams, who's running as an independent for re-election, GOP nominee Curtis Sliwa, and independent Jim Walden. Bernie Bennett reporting.
It is another very hot, uncomfortably humid day in the east. Bryce Williams at the National Weather Service.
We're looking at record-breaking heat, actually, for the month of June up here in the Northeast. And so it's going to feel quite unusual, and it can feel like the heat is radiating off of the ground. You can sometimes visualize it. You can see the waviness in the air.
However, some relief expected to arrive by tomorrow. Israel reports one of its deadliest days in Gaza in months. Its military says 7 soldiers have been killed in a bomb attack. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 14 points, the NASDAQ 104 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Have reclassified a dinosaur unearthed in the U.S. several years ago as a new species.
This Labrador-sized dinosaur had big feet and a long tail. It lived around 150 million years ago in the United States. Like countless other small dinosaurs, it used to be classified as a Nanosaurus. But when the scientists realized it was unique, they named it Enigma cursor, meaning puzzling runner. It will now go on display next to a Stegosaurus that lived in the same place at the same time, but is about the height of a coach. The findings could shed light on how these early small dinosaurs evolved to become giants.
The BBC's Georgina Renault. Brazil's government says a 26-year-old Brazilian hiker who plunged 1,300 feet from the ridge of an Indonesian volcano, was trapped there for close to 4 days, has been found dead. News and analysis, townhall.com. He is a 4-time MVP and an NFL standout, and he may soon hang up his cleats.
Aaron Rodgers says he believes the 2025 season will be his last in the NFL.
In an appearance Tuesday on the Pat McAfee Show, Rogers said, quote, "I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a one-year deal." The 41-year-old quarterback signed a one-year deal with Pittsburgh earlier this month after 2 injury-marred seasons with the New York Jets. Rogers agreed to sign with the Steelers after regular conversations with Coach Mike Tomlin over a few months. He says he can't think of a better place to finish his career. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
A federal judge is ordering the Trump administration to release billions of dollars in funding for the construction of electric vehicle charging stations across more than a dozen states. Congress had approved the spending under the Biden administration, but the Trump administration blocked the funding. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters. Thank you, Jocelyn. Right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Middle of the week. You made it. Although weather's going to keep testing us today. We do have another flood watch. Officially will kick in at noon today and then remain in effect through midnight. We do have a decent chance at more moisture today, which adds to I always like to talk about it last hour. You know, last year it all hit us at one time. You know, boom, bunch. And this one's kind of the campaign where it drags out over 3-4 days. You hit and okay, and you go down again. Oh, back again. Up, down again, back again. So we'll have another day of that. It sounds like just based on what they're saying with the weather. But maybe just like tomorrow, our rain chance is 50%, but they're saying like less than a tenth. So you know the chances are decent, but maybe not get a lot of rainfall. So you know, that, and then Friday and then Saturday they say no rain, and then they have slight chances for next week. But today's another one of those 80% chance of rain. Could see been a quarter and a half an inch of rain today, so this could get some more significant rain. They don't use the caveat some storms could be severe, so it could be kind of like last night, where it's just a steady rain situation once it hits. I don't know if it stopped last night, but all I know is I woke up at like 4 different times throughout the course of the night, and every single time it was a steady rain going. So until sometime in the 5 a.m. hour when I woke up, it was 5 something, and it wasn't raining then. But it is now. Okay, well, it's yeah, it kind of looks kind of cloudy out there now. So this is what we're in for today, folks. So hopefully act accordingly. Get those sandbags reshifted, and I don't know if they're still having some. Last time I heard they had some. That was like yesterday or day before, but you had to bring your own shovels and all that stuff. So hopefully, but I'm hoping today's the last day we have to deal with this stuff. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All I know is all of a sudden we got a lot of ponds in Roswell because you know all the retention pond areas that are normally just empty ditches are now. I mean, we have Lake. We all know it as Lake Home Depot. That's always there. Right by our house, there's one that we're over near the hospital and Eastern,
and they have an area by some apartment complexes that normally is just a grassy field that's kind of a divot. Now it's a pond. I'm waiting for ducks to show up, so I'm waiting to see some ducks. Only thing I saw so far was a piece of trash floating in it. nothing
Well, that
fancy.
pond is like right on the cusp of going over
Go
the
over
street.
the road now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's high.
So that's not good. So, and I imagine there's lots of areas around town in very similar situations here. And I would also offer this out that if you can, reach out to organizations like Harvest Ministries, Food Not Bombs, different. If you can make donations and help out. I know a lot of these groups are dealing with the homeless communities who, unfortunately, when the weather's nice, they reside in the arroyos and the man camps and stuff are set up right where all this water goes when we get it, and so they're literally, the homeless are homeless from their place of home it's that crazy. And so if you can help out, I'm sure all these organizations could use donations of blankets, dry clothing, tents, if you got anything like that. Reach out and see what you can do to help. You have extra things like that to donate. On top of water, they're always needing water. When it is not raining, it's 157 out, and so keep donating that kind of stuff too. They can always use more of that: sunscreens, water, lip balms, things like that too. Because when it's not doing this, it's usually hot. But right now, if you do have extra blankets, clothing, things like that, wool, socks, things that'll keep them from getting hypothermic. That's what we're worried about right now, because I know people think, well, it's got to be cold to be hypothermic. No. More hypothermias happen in the summer, in colder, when it gets wet and rainy, and that's a much more severe chance of getting hypothermia, because generally in the cold winter, people are better prepared, better clothing, and so it's not as often that you deal with those things. But summer, usually like camping trips and things. I know just from personal experience in my scouting days, we went to Philmont Scout Ranch as part of our high adventure camping, and there was a couple nights there where, days and nights where we got all day rains, and we're up in the mountains, and there was probably early stages of hypothermia hitting one or two of us if we didn't address it and be Boy Scouts and do first aid and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's much more common this time of year. So blankets and things are very useful. Whenever it's wet and you get temperatures, it can, especially at night, if it's dropping down in the 60s, 70s. I know that doesn't seem right, but when you're wet and can't get dry and that temp drops dark and there's no heat source, that's a recipe for hypothermia. Just that's what we're worried about. So be careful about if you can help out, that'd be a great thing. And then folks, look out for each other too. Check in on your neighbors and your friends and see what you can do to help if they're dealing with any of these flooding or issues. We're not dealing with it like we were a year ago where it's all coming in at once, but now it's the long haul. Like, the water's starting to come in here, or it's leaking here. I imagine there's going to be a lot of roofing calls next week when this all lets up, and they're going to be busy this week. So, and then of course, we did get a few hail situations in some of this, so hail damage could have created some, but it's a whole thing. So just help each other out. It is 8:13. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a few, officially. Then we're going to play our interview we had earlier this week with the folks from the Chavez County Health Council, talking about the Health Expo coming up in August. They are looking for, this is your last chance to get in on vendors. We had Rick Lamb and Jennifer Smith and Carrie Moore join us earlier this week. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few. Later on this hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, Wall Street business update, whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, let's get an official look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're going up to about 80 for the afternoon high today. Lots of clouds, and we have a lot of warm and humid air coming in from the south, so showers and thunderstorms looking pretty likely. Scattered showers and thunderstorms until about midnight tonight. We're in the low 60s, and then more showers and thunderstorms will be popping up on Thursday. Most of those in the afternoon, partly cloudy, upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 66 degrees and light raining at the moment. Humidity is at 90%. Winds are calm at the moment. We do have another flood watch. They say scheduled to take effect at noon today, remaining in effect through midnight tonight here. They're talking an 80% chance of showers for the day. It's raining now, so there you go. Expect a high near 80 today. Winds will be out of the south at around 10 miles per hour. They're saying we could get anywhere from a quarter to a half an inch of rain here during the day today. Tonight, we're looking at a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before 9 p.m. So it should be wrapping up about mid-evening, before you get to overnight hours. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 66. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 50% chance of rain for Thursday. Partly cloudy, so we might see some sun tomorrow, maybe. A little warmer as well. Highs near 90, 89 is what they're calling for. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. They're saying we could see anywhere from less than a tenth of inches of rain is what they're saying, unless we get an actual thunderstorm that rolls through the area. Thursday night, our chance of rain is at 30%. Mainly before midnight, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 66 degrees. 30% chance of rain for Friday afternoon as well, partly cloudy and 89 for a high. 20% Friday night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 65. No talk of rain Saturday during the day, just mostly sunny, 92. They do put on a 20% chance of rain for Saturday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 67. 20% chance of rain for Sunday afternoon as well, otherwise sunny and 94. And then next week, Monday, Tuesday, there's 30% chances of rain. Highs right around 90 for those 2 days there. All right, it is 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview we had with the folks from the Chaves County Health Council. That's up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Our favorite boys from Texas are back. The Emmy Award-winning Texas Tenors invite you to celebrate a huge milestone with them. 15 years together. Bring the whole family and celebrate at the Spencer Theater on July 5th. Get your tickets online at spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
The summer of fun rolls on at Roswell Honda with a great selection of adventure-ready rides priced right so you'll be ready for whatever summer throws your way. Get 2.99% for up to 36 months on Honda Pilot, HR-V, and CR-V hybrids, 1.99% for 36 months on all Ridgeline, or 4.99% for 48 months on all new Civic, and truckloads of all new inventory too. Start your summertime adventure during the summer of fun at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
The 2025 UFO Festival is coming to downtown Roswell July 3rd through the 6th.
Many files are classified, but here's what we know so far.
Food trucks, vendors, live entertainment, the Human and Pet Costume Contest, the Drone Show, and the UFO Light Parade. Sponsors include XL Energy, Crumlin Auto Group, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Pecos Valley Production, Dion's Pizza, Labrino Foods, and Pioneer Bank.
The classified schedule of events can be found at UFOfestival.com.
Presented by the City of Roswell, Main Street Roswell, and paid for in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles, or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
You received a social media message or text from an unknown number. They started a conversation with you, and over time, they earn your trust. Then, they encourage you to invest online or buy cryptocurrency. And when you do, they disappear, along with your money. But it can be avoided. The Securities Division of New Mexico's Regulation and Licensing Department can help. Learn to spot the red flags of investment scams at rld.nm.gov/red flags or call 505-476-4580.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion. Unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
Health Council, huh? I'm talking about the donuts. But joining us in studio this morning is folks from the Chavez County Health Council, Carrie Moore, Jennifer Smith, and Rick Lamb back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Monday. Unison good morning, too. Yeah. I like that. Bodes well. So,
we harmonized on the way up.
Right. Yeah, when they're not doing this, they're barbershop court. There is a fourth. They're not here right now, but they are they hang out on street corners and do barbershop quartet songs. So, just kidding.
Yeah, that's why we're on those street corners.
Hello. But I kid, of course. But folks, for not familiar, the Chavez County Health Council, one of the things they do by day most of the time is they are the ones that the 211, if that is your resource hotline, if you need anything regarding health care, not emergency stuff, but you need doctors or need to know about doctors or need to know what services are offered or even if you need immediate services, like when the flooding started, not yesterday's, but the one from a year ago, 211 became that community meeting space. If you had needs or offered needs, that was, and it still serves in that capacity.
Right.
Obviously not to the level it did a year ago, but if you still need, if you got a FEMA question, call 211. If you got any issues regarding yesterday's flood and looking for resources, 211 is a resource to help you get in touch with the people to do all that. So that's kind of the main thing.
I had to reach out yesterday to find out if anybody was going to bring in sandbags. So that's what we do. If I don't have the information at hand, we search the information and make sure that we get it, especially when it's something that's like right on top of us.
Yes, it's kind of it's evolved, the 211, to be that fill in the gaps where the gaps create. That's kind of where it's evolved to here over the last year or two here, and so. It still continues. Now, but that being said, if you're new to town, you're like, hey, I've got a child on the spectrum. What's some good resources in town for that? Call 211. They'll be happy to help you get that. The other big thing that most people know the Health Council for is the other event we're about to talk about. It's the annual Health Expo. And although the location's different this year and that forces us to do things a little bit different, everything else is going to be the Health Expo you know and love. It'll just be at the Roswell Mall this year.
That's right. 7th year.
7th year of doing it.
You would think we would know what we're doing after 7 years.
Well, that'd be just unfun if you didn't know what you're doing.
Just when we get everything ready and it's all perfect, then, things happen and you have to change venues.
Absolutely. Then they throw these wrinkles on you like it rains a lot all of a sudden. But
let's start over.
To rethink everything.
But thank you to the mall for working with us and getting everything going.
Angie was great.
And to be honest, when you get opportunities like this, sometimes it makes things better just because we're in a mall now. There's things we can do here that we couldn't do at the convention center and vice versa. You know what I mean? So in essence, there's going to be people like, let's face it, the convention center, if you're going there, that was a dedicated trip. Right. Everyone's going there for the Health Expo. Now we're going to have a bunch of people that certainly are going to be there for the Health Expo, but some people are like, I just needed some shoes.
Right,
and I accidentally stumbled into this,
It's tax-free weekend.
Yeah, so people are going to be there
shopping. People need to be over there shopping.
So if you can't get it at the actual, you don't get enough school supplies, and roll on into one of the mall merchants, and they'll be able to help you out, and it's all tax-free. So it in essence, this kind of is a cooler way to do this in some aspects there.
And I heard that they were going to open up, I think it was 3 or 4 more stores that we're going to hit just right at the expo.
Oh, perfect.
One of them being a drink one, a snack shop.
Oh, nice. So if you want to come see the new businesses, use that as an excuse. I'm going to the Health Expo. I'll check out the new drink place, the new store there, whatever it is. But like the previous Health Expos, many of the same services and things that you're looking for will all be there, just in the mall instead of down at the convention center. Some of it will be outside, like if your bloodmobiles and things that they can't port, that'll be outside and those things. But then your other booths and things. And here's the thing too, is that you focused on and you can still continue to get in for, but Carrie and you guys were mentioning that this year we it's total health. Everything is health. So it's not all doctors' offices and dentist offices and eye care places. It's quality of life stuff. There might be people there talking about spas and relaxing things, or supplements, or could be anything that helps with quality of life.
Right.
Is invited to the Health Expo. So it's traditional things you think of. If you need your glucose checks or your blood pressure checks or any of those checks will happen. But if you want to learn more about retirement, or you want to learn more about financial planning, or want to learn more about making your home nice to accommodate some of your things as we get older, then come on down. We'd love to have you part of the Health Expo.
And if you're a provider of those type of services and you don't have a booth, call us at 211 because we are still taking booths. This is the last week
You're in
to get your booths
the
in.
final countdown. The 2-minute warning is right. Like if you did it back in May, you would have got a discount and save a little money and do all that. But we're past all that.
We're past all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you wait until after the deadline, it's going to cost you more money, too.
It will cost you. No.
It will.
And if you don't pay, we're going to send Rick and his team of ninjas to come and... I kid. But no, we now's the time. We're past the early bird stuff. We're now in crunch time. If you do not respond this week, you might be on the outside looking in on this year's Health Expo. So please get it done this week.
And so far we know we've got child vaccines.
Okay.
We've got the Department of Health is going to be looking up birth certificates.
Okay.
And they'll do that right there on the spot.
I imagine, some people may have lost those in floods and things, and they need to recoup them.
And they haven't gotten them back.
Yeah.
This is a good time to do it. We have got mammograms.
Okay.
So Eastern New Mexico Medical Center is going to do the mammograms this year.
That's a pre-registered thing. You need to get that done now, or can they do it?
No. So what they're going to do...
Pull them out. Let's get them looked at.
Only yours, Mike.
Well, put it this way. There are not many people care to see those.
Exactly.
The one who does has seen them 100 times and doesn't care anymore. So.
No, so what they're going to do is they're going to have somebody there scheduling at the expo.
Okay.
And so they'll have all their open times. So have your schedules ready. If you need to have a mammogram, have your schedules ready.
Okay.
Go in there, book your schedule.
And then you'll come back on a later date.
And then you go back to
get
Eastern and get them done.
Perfect.
And then the Health Council pays for that.
Oh,
There's
nice.
no out-of-pocket expense for 'em.
Perfect.
So this is a good time. And they recommend mammograms every 2 years at the age starting at 40?
Okay. And I can tell you now, if it's been a minute since you've had one, the technology, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's still not, everyone's like, woohoo, mammograms, line up, party time. But it's much more accurate and not as uncomfortable as yours. Like if it's been a minute since you've had one.
Says a man who's never had one.
This is what I'm told. I'm not, but I've been assured by the medical people that the technology's better and they don't have to be as rough on you.
Yeah, no, they're still rough.
But here's the thing too, and this is something maybe just if you not to be alarmed, because the digital work is so much better now. They see a lot more anomalies, things that they used to not be able to see. And so they see them, and they're like, hey, we need to check that out. We need to biopsy. Please don't be alarmed, because my wife was when I'm going to get personal, but my wife, the first time she had with the new stuff, they were kind of like, we're seeing some things, and everyone's like, whoa, nervous, breast cancer now. No. The equipment's that much better, and we're saying now we just got to prove it's nothing. And that's 99% of the time they do. But because the imagery is so much better now,
they literally like, all right, we need to take a closer look at that and that and that, but please don't think, oh man, I'm riddled with cancer or riddled with whatever now. That's not 99.9% of the time. That's not the case. They're just seeing things they couldn't see before because we got better glasses now, basically. And so that's kind of what's going on there. And I'm sure like every few years that's going to get better and better as these, because I know, like, the medical services, they'll just, like, I think Loveless just put in a new mammoth thing. Thing is, they put that in a year from now, they got a better one. That's just how they work.
I was going to say, Loveless is more the high-tech than Eastern's right now, but Eastern will be right there on top of them.
And that's what I'm telling you, a year from now, the one at Loveless will be the one that's so last year's model. Now there's this year, you know what I mean? That's how the world works. But that being said, if it's been a few years since you've had a mammogram, please don't be alarmed if you're like, wait a minute, they're seeing stuff they didn't see before now. And it has nothing to do with you. It probably was always there. They just can see it better.
Right.
Yep.
Just make that note.
And Sing will have Midday Lions there doing the eyeglass with the kids.
So they'll have a drop-off if you want to donate your old glasses and stuff, I'm assuming, too?
Yeah, I think she takes them at the booth. So,
okay.
And then she'll do the
And if
screening
not,
with the kids.
they say no, they'll tell you where to drop those off. But and then if your children need that kind of stuff, man, please talk to the Lions. That's what they do. They love to help get kids glasses and get their vision corrected long before they enter a school classroom.
Yeah. And they do some stuff with adults. So if you already have a prescription and you're just needing the frames and stuff, they can do some stuff with the adults.
Nice.
They prefer with the kids, but, everybody needs to see now and
You got
then.
to see, put it this way, and we don't want you bumping into things either. I've seen some of you on the road. You need thicker glasses.
I was gonna say,
Myself included.
Well, now you know where to go.
That's right.
And then, of course, we always kick off the Health Expo with a healthy run.
Yeah.
A 5K.
And Rick and the Boys and Girls Club, you guys are going to be doing the fun run again here this year.
Retro style.
Yes. 80s it up.
Yes.
So so however you want to do your 80s, do your 80s. Let me give you a few themes that are going to be lesser known, because everyone's going to do everyone's going to bust out in their neon oranges and jams and culottes, but maybe theme it up to maybe franchises of the 80s. Like, I would love to see a bunch of
A-Team.
A-Team would be amazing.
Oh, that would be fun.
I'll give you even a few more obscure ones. Let's go and do the Untouchables. You can dress up like G-Men, like Kevin Costner and all those, and maybe run around in those trench coats and his hats.
Yeah.
Dillinger, kind of, that. Or even get Fraggle Rock or some of the ones that aren't like everyone's mainstay, like 80s stuff that but it kind of stayed in the 80s and never really got, like Fraggle Rock's one of those ones that was really big.
The
now you don't know. Yeah, the Labyrinth, Willow, or the Dark Crystal. Remember that movie?
Oh, yeah. We are so not dating ourselves.
Oh, I got a good one. This one you might be careful with. Do you remember the movie The Beastmaster?
Yes. Yes, I do.
With Mark Singer and Tyus Shire and what's his name from Good Times was in it too. You see more of him than you want to, because he's in a loincloth that whole movie. Rip Torn's in that movie. Yeah, it's so bad, it's so good, that movie. And
this is a kid-friendly event, people. A
maybe
family-friendly event.
Yeah, Beastmaster, there are a lot of loincloths in that one. Maybe stay away. But it could be hot, so you might be appreciative, though.
Well, but the whole expo is retro video game themed.
Gotcha.
So we at the Health Council, we're going with Mario Brothers.
Okay.
And so, we always do prizes. And so this year it's going to have to be different. So we're coming up with a way that you actually have to go to the booths and figure out which ones have got the prizes. Gold stars, bombs.
Nice.
Think anything Mario.
So
Who
cool.
knows
We're
what
going to
you're
have
gonna
some fun with it.
Yep.
If you're
It's a game within the game.
You could put on a Mario Kart.
Yes.
Yeah. Or if you want to go like Atari games. You could, if you can get you a hat and stuff, you could be the Pitfall guy.
See?
Or
Donkey Kong.
Yeah. You could.
Frogger.
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 Hubert. Ooh, you want to get really, I don't know, this one would be a little trickier. Remember Burger Time? Remember that game, Burger Time?
Yeah, Burger Time.
Maybe you could be a walking pickle. Oh no, the pickle's chasing me. I'm going to make you part of the sandwich. Hold on, since I get to this level.
See, I'm thinking you just need to create a team.
Yeah.
4 or 5 people put a team together, theme it up on however you need to theme it. Y'all
Absolutely.
can have fun.
Like if you want to get high tech, the highest of high techs of the 80s arcade gamings, and they actually was the first game I can think of that they actually charged you 50 cents on, was that Dragon's Lair game. Remember that one? That was actually animated like a cartoon, and then you had to do the moves, and then you probably died, 3
So I was
minutes
thinking
in.
Mortal Kombat, but
Well, this was predated Mortal Kombat. It was
Okay.
Dragon's Lair, and it was this cartoon prince guy, and you had to fight dragons, and it looked kind of Disney-like, and yeah.
they didn't have that at Mama Tucker's.
See, this is
donut
high
shop
fancy.
right
This
next
is
to
this is
Roswell
the
High.
50 cent game. It was you
They like
needed 2
donuts.
quarters to play this one, so it was pretty high end. So, but yeah, you could go or any of those. I mean, Galaga or like the Ninja Gaiden one where you jump from tree to tree. That was one to fight. Go.
You're gonna have fun.
Go look up the Atari playlist of games online and pick one that's themed there. You'd be. By the way, I didn't even know this existed till I was looking. Did you know? You remember the movie Porky's from the 80s?
Yes.
They had an Atari Porky's game.
What?
To this day, I still don't know how they played it, but I was looking, and sure enough, Atari had a game that was themed the Porky's movie. I have no idea what's in the game. Don't know what it's about. But based off the movie Porky's,
My brain did not go to a nice place on that one.
I'm like, so if you see, so in theory, you could go Porky's themed. Just saying, if you want to dress up like a bunch of high school kids trying to get into women's locker rooms, or or the bar or whatever the whole Porky. It's been a minute since I've seen that.
Yeah. No, Mike. No.
They're all trying to get into that Porky's bar, if I remember right.
Bad, Mike. No.
We need
Kid-friendly.
security now.
But they made an Atari game. I'm just saying from Porky's.
No.
I was shocked as much as you were when I found it.
So, but what's the entry fee to the fun run?
Free to $20, depending on age.
Okay.
So,
and this is a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club. Like
Yeah,
the money.
and-
So please don't pay something. Because all this goes back to the programs and the great stuff that's going on in Boys and Girls.
yeah, and if you, by July 13th, if you have officially purchased your ticket, you get a shirt with it, guaranteed. After that, it's just kind of whatever's left over at that point.
By the way, I don't think we've given out the actual dates of this year's expo.
August 2nd.
Yes.
Roswell Mall. So the run starts
tax-free
at
weekend.
7 a.m.
Gotcha.
Registration starts at 6:30 a.m.
Yes.
And then the health expo will start at 10. So it'll go from 10 to 2.
Yeah, the fun run kind of is the pregame show for the health expo.
Yes.
And then you go home and take a nap.
There you go.
And then come back.
There you go. Come in and or maybe you can incorporate your nap into the video game experience. Like,
Why not? We could, yeah.
Like,
Oregon Trail.
There you go.
You can have dysentery in your, around
That's
the
right.
corner or something.
And a good time was had by all. Next year's theme's going to be the Donner Party. Just so,
It's nutritious.
eat right, kids, or you'll be like the Donner Party. You have to eat your sister.
This is why we don't come on the radio much.
But all jokes aside, come and have fun with it. Sign up early, and yes, all the proceeds from the fun run go to Boys and Girls Club. So please, register early, register often. Pay too much for it. That would be great.
Well, yeah, everybody talks about there's nothing here for kids to do. The
Yeah.
Boys and Girls Club is a fantastic place for the kids.
Absolutely.
And we need to keep it in the community. And part of that is making sure that it's funded, people.
Yep.
So get out there.
And I know, Rick, that right now we're in your summer programs because kids, but here in a few short weeks, just like the Health Expo,
Yes.
it really isn't that far away. Kids are going to be going back to school, doing all this stuff, and guess what? Boys and Girls Club offers a great after-school program, and because people keep supporting it, they're able to expand it a little bit each year and add more schools and add more vehicles. And so by you running and doing all that, it continues to expand and grow programs like that.
Right.
So,
Yes.
That is right.
So please help out and do that kind of thing. You don't realize how much, because I don't know how many families probably wouldn't be able to navigate their day without what's going on at Boys and Girls Club right now. Because life's busy and parents, they go to work and man, I don't get home till 4 or 5 or whatever it is. My kid has nowhere to go. Boys and Girls Club, they're there and they're doing their homework. They're having fun. They're doing all kinds.
It's programming.
of stuff.
I mean, it's a true thing.
Yeah, it's
sorry,
like
people, y'all can't see that.
Yeah.
My brain just didn't work.
yeah, it's. I mean, because I'd say it's like school, but it's not school because it's not normal bits. I mean, they will work on the stuff, but then then obviously as the kids get older, they get more involved in like when they're really young, then it's generally the adults kind of, all right, we're going to play basketball or do whatever we're going to do. But as these kids get a little older, it's like, hey, what do you want to do with your after school program? What do you want to do with your summer program? Do you want to create a thing? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to create a charity? I don't know. Let's see what it takes us. And that's what they do at these kinds of
Right. Yeah, it's not just daycare, it's programming.
Yeah, you're investing in your kids' future.
Educational, that was the word I was looking for.
There you go. Education. We will educate your kids.
It's morning. I need more coffee.
But and to be honest, it's in the world we live in with the computers and the technology, and let's face it, kids spend more time behind screens and things like that and less time in social situations. Yep. So anytime you can put your kid in a face-to-face social situation,
social situations are good.
that is beneficial to your kid. This is like you ever notice sometimes you talk to kids and then you literally like have try to have a normal and they just kind of like, why are you talking to me in all these words? You know, they look at they bitterly because they communicate via a phone or and it's all in a simple text and you forget the human interaction part and the talking part and the feelings and reading tea leaves and seeing someone's facial expression, understanding what that means and how that works. And you offer your own facial expression and they interpret what you're doing. You lose all that on a phone. Yeah. And
this is sarcasm, people.
Yeah. And so programs like this are vital nowadays. I mean, I think when we were younger, you could maybe get away with that because there was enough. But nowadays, to have a well-rounded child, you got to put them in. School ain't going to cut it for all that. You got to have, and if you're doing homeschooling, God forbid, you got to get them in some social stuff like this, just so they can experience that. I know as much as you want to teach them as a homeschooler, you can't create a classroom of 30 kids in your living room. You just can't do that. And so we can do it here at Boys and Girls Club. Yeah. So that's true. It is such a great program. So please dress up like Frogger, Cubert, Pac-Man, Pitfall Guy. Even the Porky's guy, just don't tell him. And, have some fun and be a part of the fun, right?
We want it to be fun for everybody.
Yes. Tell him you're Boss Hog. You'll be all right. But have some fun with us. And like you said, if you're interested in having a booth in the fair, you're in your 2-minute notice this week, got to get it done. Please reach out to the Health Council. Call 211. That's an easy way to do it. Or you can shoot a message on Facebook. There's a Travis County Health Council page. But
we also have a website.
Yeah, there is the Health Council.
TravisCountyHC.org.
There you go.
And all that information's on there.
And if you don't remember that, call 211. They'll tell you.
I'll tell you all kinds of things.
Yep.
So because we have to pay the bills.
Yes.
We need to thank some sponsors.
Please do.
Because without our sponsors, we cannot do this.
These are the reason a Health Expo happens, and we're very thankful for these folks. And they do this year in, year out, countless. They're always there. I imagine some of these folks, they're like, all right, what do we need from us this year kind of thing.
They're
we
very
need $1 million.
Yeah, $1 million. Your best Dr. Evil. Well, we put it this way. We're 1 year away from the Shark Tank with the lasers. I'm just saying.
I would believe it.
So our presenting sponsors are Eastern New Mexico Medical Center, along with the Boys and Girls Club and the Health Council. Those are the primary
Those are
ones.
our big
These are our big ones.
tentpole of sponsors here.
Yep, and then we can't go without Loveless Hospital, Casa Maria, Sunset Via, Molina Healthcare, who is going to hand out backpacks because there's backpacks and supplies for the kids.
Yes.
And we do a large amount of backpacks, guys. So anywhere from 200 to 300, depending on.
Well, part of your admission fee as being a vendor is school supplies backpacks.
Yep. So that's what Molina's going to do. We got Presbyterian Health Plan. We've got Chimera, 100% Chaves County, who helps us put together the wellness guide because we put all those resources that you call for 211. We put those together in a printed
100%
document.
Chaves County does a lot of great things in our community. They, like right now, they're kind of spearheading the opioid discussions and trying to, that's a lot through that. Reach out to them if you want more information about that.
Oh, yeah.
Chaves County DWI, Quality Care, Interim Health, Miracle Ear Comfort Keepers, AMR, which is the American Medical Response.
You'll appreciate them when you need an ambulance.
Right?
Yes.
La Casa Family Health, Waypath Employee Benefits, Casa Kids, Wings for Life, Delta Dental, Family Dental, Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, and VDEX Diabetes.
Nice. That's and there's room for more. People listen. And put it this way: the bigger that list, the better that this Health Expo gets. So
Yeah, well, those are just our sponsors. So then we still have the booths. And
oh yeah, there's plenty of booths.
And there's way
a lot
more
more
booths
booths.
on that one, and that list is too long for me to discuss.
Yeah.
Put it this
We'd
way:
be here all day.
Yeah.
if you're looking for personal care, to financial plan, to medical screenings and anything in between, there's going to be a booth there dedicated to it at some place, some
Yep.
point there at the Health Expo.
Yeah, right now we've got 60 individual entities.
Okay.
And some of them will have multiple booths. Like Eastern has like 10 booths.
They have
so that they can do so that they can do all the different services that they provide.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now 60 different entities.
That's great. And so it'll take a minute to get through all of these and do all that, but we'd love to have people.
And it'll be
that's
worth
the other
your
thing.
time.
That's the other thing too.
Always
Come out
is.
that weekend. That's Saturday when it's like I said, we get there early for the fun run, 6:30 for the pre-register, and then about 10 o'clock the mall will open up for the Health Expo. And like we said, if you're not going to be a vendor, please come and utilize all the services available to you. I know some folks, this is their annual medical thing. They get their checks and screenings. Come on down. Just don't go to the convention center. Go to the mall this year.
Right.
That's where we need to. But it's all going to be at the mall. And big thank you to that. And like I said, 10 o'clock. And what time does it usually wrap up? About
2.
I know it's
2 o'clock
early
this year.
afternoon.
Yep.
Yeah. So it'll go and of course, families. Like you said, there's going to be lots of school supplies given away. So I would even hold off on buying that stuff until you go to the health fair. You might be able to pick up a bunch of that for free, and then you can fill the void afterwards.
Right.
Would gap whatever you didn't get there.
Yep.
So.
Well, and the beauty is I mean, you're kind of right there in the shopping mecca of Roswell
Exactly.
anyways. So
If you didn't, okay, now you can go get our shoes or go get our shirts or computer or whatever you need to get school going here.
well, and and we do really, really good prizes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the door prizes are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Just for hanging out.
Because usually, I mean, we do tablets, laptops. I mean, we do some high end stuff.
Yeah.
People don't
We
go
have
away
fun.
empty-handed when they come out to the Health Expo. I'm
No.
just saying it's
And
a
this
lot.
year, pretty much everybody's going to walk away with at least something.
It's great. That's great. So come be a part of it. And like I said, if you want to be a vendor, you still got time, but you got to get her done this week.
This week.
Is if you wait till next week, they're like, look, we're running out of spaces or running out of time. The mall can only have so many places.
Yeah.
They
We really are limited.
They do have renters that pay money to be there, and we don't want to kick them out to do it.
Yeah.
And I have to have time to figure out where to put
Sorry,
everybody.
Bells, you're going to have to move. We're going to do.
But the door prizes will be
That's right.
this lovely tracksuit.
That's right. And by the way, and if you do it right, you can turn it into a crawl because you hit the right restaurant. You're like, all right, we've gone this far. Oh, we're right near La Salsa. It's burrito time.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh, we're at Bio's now. It's time for some pasta. Whatever it is.
Well, and I don't know if the Halloween store will be open that weekend. I know.
They do open early. I don't know if they're going to be August early, but
I know that they'll be somewhere in there because we had a discussion on why we couldn't be in a certain area.
Oh, I got you.
Because they will be in that area.
Okay.
So I just don't know if they'll have their doors open.
I don't know. Come costume.
Kind of early for August.
If they're open, you're going to know where to find me.
Put it this way. Hey, costume people, if you want to open early and just specialize in some 80s themed costumes,
Exactly.
you might make a little extra money this year. Just saying.
Well, you got Spencer's right there too.
And Spencer's,
yeah,
they're
that's
now we have them. I don't think we
Yeah.
had them last year.
No.
So
No.
that'll be an opportunity. That is, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that's the first Spencer's I've ever seen that's not in a mall.
It is the first. It's the one I've ever seen.
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
on the mall.
it's not like it's near the mall, but it's not in the mall.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Well, it's
first.
because the mall is kind of format is dying out. They're
Sure.
changing it to
Yeah, I know. I
to the
get
out
like
parcels.
Yeah, life isn't like it was for us when we were kids, where everyone hung out at the mall. But
Yeah.
but it just don't feel natural that there's not a Spencer's. The Spencer's is like its stone standalones. Like put it this way. The things you buy at Spencer's are the things you don't realize you need till you see them and need them. I've never walked into a Spencer's thinking I'm going to buy X. Like I said, I'm going to Spencer's. I got to pick up whatever. It's always I roll into Spencer's like, I have never seen something like that before in my life. I need that. You know, that's, what's your laundry list? I've got to go buy a, whatever, at incense candle holder at Spencer's. And I just,
Hey, I'm impressed Roswell has a Spencer.
Exactly.
Because we've never had one
But
before.
I'm just shocked it's not in a mall. That's like throwing, like I'm going to lie. When I see Sonics that are walking, I mean, we got 2 of them, but they still mess me up. Like, you realize you're supposed to be like drive up, right? This is Sonic. Right. That's how it works. Here. You know, same kind of deal.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, but please mark it on your calendars. Get your booths in right now. And if you're planning on attending, let's go. We got and if you need any, like I said, birth certificates to getting shot records for the kids up to date. All of that is part of the expo as well, too. So, because it is, right? It's by design, done right around when the kids go back to school. That's why we have all the school backpacks. You know, this is it really serves several folds. Because, I mean, yes, it's for the seniors. A lot of seniors come in and they'll get their blood pressure checks and kind of do almost their annual visit kind of thing. But it's also that part for the kids. We got to get the sports physicals lined up. We got to get the shot records in line. We got to make sure, you know, their school supplies and everything else, they're ready for school and all that kind of stuff. And that's what this is all about. So
we want it for all ages. August 2nd.
August 2nd at the Roswell Mall. Do not miss it. Plan to attend. And then, like I said, if you want to be in, you're officially out of time. Get a hold of the Health Council this week. Call 211. And don't call it 24/7. It's not like 911. Don't call them at 2 in the morning. Carrie will get salty with you.
Sometimes, yes.
If it's an emergency, you call 911. But during business hours, during the day here, if you have any questions about anything related to that, or if you still having issues with FEMA, issues with any of that kind of stuff, 211 is still a resource to put you in touch with people that can help you do those things.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there anything we missed? Did we get it all?
We got the fun run. We got the health expo.
And the booths.
Yeah, we got the booths.
Got sponsors. We're good.
Got it all. I love it when a plan comes together. All right. Speaking of 18.
I don't remember the theme song.
Dun, 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 I spent a lot of time in front of a TV as a child. It was
it's a great show.
That's right. It raised me. What else would you like? Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider. I got you covered. Dun 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 dun.
I know it's Mike Winters in the morning.
That's right. I'm here all week, folks. Very good. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you here next time. And
thank you.
And appreciate anything else we can do to help. Please let us know. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. All right.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The City of Carlsbad, Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Mexico, and National Fitness Campaign are announcing a collaboration to bring an outdoor fitness court and digital wellness programming to Carlsbad. The fitness court, located at 511 Riverwalk Drive in Carlsbad, is opening today at 1 p.m. with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. The fitness court was developed by the City of Carlsbad and NFC to expand free access to high-quality workouts and create equitable access to exercise for communities across the region. Casey Conley has been formally sworn in as Deputy Chief of Staff for the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Office of Congressional Relations in Washington, D.C. That's where he will help lead the agency's legislative strategy and engagement with Capitol Hill. Conley, a Roswell native who worked as the City of Roswell's administrative chief of staff before stepping into his new federal position, is making Roswell proud in his new role of service to our great nation. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. If you're a soccer fan,
you might be interested to know, you probably already do know if you're a real soccer fan, that a guy that is kind of a hero for the Mexico soccer team back in 2012, Oribe Peralta, will be speaking at the Pearson Auditorium at NMMI. That'll be Friday night. He's a four-time Liga MX champ, and his big claim to fame is scoring both goals when Mexico beat Brazil 2-1 for the gold medal at the 2012 Olympic Games. You can look into this at coltsoccercamp.com, although I do believe all the tickets are sold out. But this is a precursor to a week-long summer soccer camp next year for 14 to 17-year-olds. Same website, coltsoccercamp.com. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're going up to about 80 for the afternoon high today. Lots of clouds, and we have a lot of warm and humid air coming in from the south, so showers and thunderstorms looking pretty likely. Scattered showers and thunderstorms until about midnight tonight. We're in the low 60s, and then more showers and thunderstorms will be popping up on Thursday. Most of those in the afternoon, partly cloudy, upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
Stocks rose again and oil prices tanked again on hopes and bets that a ceasefire between Israel and Iran will hold. The Dow was up about 500 points, S&P up 68, NASDAQ up almost 300 points, gains of up to 1.5%, the most stocks have risen in several days. Airline stocks rose because oil prices have come down. They've fallen almost 15% in the last few days. I asked Patrick Tahan of Gas Buddy how soon gas prices will start coming down.
Don't be surprised if you may start to see a few stations lowering prices every day for the next few days, and then by the weekend, most stations should be actively lowering prices every couple days.
JP Morgan traders say they're getting bulled up on stocks again. Fidelity, Vanguard, and others say employees have generally kept contributing to 401k funds, and many of them at the maximum contribution rate. The increases in home prices are slowing. Home prices rose by the smallest amount in nearly 2 years. Now, they still may not come down dramatically because there are not enough houses for sale to meet demand. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Amy's Fireworks is ready to help you have the brightest and most explosive Independence Day celebration ever. With the largest selection of 500-gram fireworks in southeast New Mexico. Sparklers, Roman candles, fountains, firecrackers, rockets, parachutes. Amy's Fireworks family packs start from just $8. Shop in air-conditioned comfort at Amy's Fireworks. 1501 East 2nd Street, Roswell. Also in Artesia and Carlsbad.
Se habla español.
Serving you since 1980, Amy's Fireworks.
Lights, camera, action. Get superhero savings during our summer blockbuster sales event going on right now at Roswell Ford. Hey Roswell, you don't need to be a hero to pay zero. Drive home a new Ford with zero down and zero payments this summer. Plus, at Roswell Ford, everyone gets employee pricing. You heard right. At Roswell Ford, you pay what we pay on our huge inventory of new Fords. Stuck in your loan or lease and want out early? Roswell Ford can get you released, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Don't let the credit villains keep you from driving your dream car. At Roswell Ford, getting approved is a possible mission, so you can pay what we pay today. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find the best car and get massive American-made savings and the best car buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, because we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balances refinanced to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most love rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. And save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
Galacticon 2025 is coming to downtown Roswell, across from the UFO Museum, July 3rd through the 6th.
Many files are still classified, but here's what we know so far.
Cosplay, karaoke, Frank Renda and his working robots, local authors, speakers, and the amazing vendor hall. And July 3rd, it's the electrifying drone show. And be on the lookout for the UFO car.
More classified information can be found at RoswellGalacticon.com.
Presented by the City of Roswell, the Roswell Daily Record, and paid for in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Stay tuned. Next hour, we have the folks from American Legion Post 61 family join us. Give us an update on what they've got going on there. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump has been demanding that NATO nations spend more on their own defense, and NATO leaders, led by the Alliance Secretary General, have now agreed on a massive hike in military spending.
Mark Rutte has said Allied leaders at this summit will take the bold decision to ramp up defense spending to 5% of their GDP. It's the figure that Donald Trump's been demanding from European allies. But to soften the blow, Mr. Rutte says the new target will be made up of 3.5% on core defense spending, with an additional 1.5% on undefined defense-related expenditure, to be reached by 2035.
The BBC's Jonathan Beale at the NATO summit in The Hague. President Trump says U.S. and Iranian officials will talk next week, continuing a dialogue that was interrupted by the recent war between Israel and Iran. Quoting the president, "We may sign an agreement. I don't know." Mr. Trump taking issue with a preliminary intel report suggesting the U.S. bombing of Iran's nuclear program has set the program back by just a few months. The president insisting Iran's nuclear ambitions have been shattered.
The findings come from the Defense Intelligence Agency, according to people familiar with the early assessment. The report found that while the strikes on the 3 Iranian nuclear sites did significant damage, they were not completely and totally obliterated as President Trump claimed. The White House strongly pushed back on the assessment, calling it flat out wrong. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Tonight was not our night. The words of former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo conceding the New York City Democrat mayoral primary to 33-year-old state assemblyman socialist Zohran Mamdani. Watching Wall Street, the Dow down 49 points, NASDAQ up 90. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Will buy 12 U.S.-made nuclear-capable F-35 fighter jets. Also, the United Kingdom will be joining NATO's shared airborne nuclear defense mission.
Prime Minister Keir Starmer made the announcement while attending a NATO summit in the Netherlands. Secretary-General Mark Rutte welcoming the decision, calling it yet another robust British contribution to NATO, while the government says it's the biggest strengthening of our nuclear posture in a generation. The UK phased out airdropped atomic weapons in the 1990s after the end of the Cold War. Its nuclear arsenal now consisting of submarine-based missiles. Only 3 NATO members, the US, Britain and France, are nuclear powers, while 7 nations contribute to the alliance's nuclear mission by contributing jets that can carry American B-61 bombs stockpiled in Europe. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Florida has started building a high-security immigration holding facility. It's earned the nickname Alligator Alcatraz.
The Immigration Detention Center is located in an isolated Everglades airfield surrounded by mosquito, python, and alligator-filled swamplands. The 5,000-bed facility is expected to open by early July. Supporters of the project tout the dangers of the natural surroundings as a plus to deter anyone from trying to escape. The location has alarmed human rights advocates, environmentalists, and Native American tribal leaders. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
As the Trump administration advances its war on waste, fraud, and abuse in government, attorneys general from more than 20 states and D.C. have filed a federal lawsuit challenging billions of dollars in cuts made by the administration. The suit's been filed in federal court in Boston. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace it
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thank you, Jocelyn. Hey, Jocelyn, you got a second? I know she doesn't like coming on the radio, but I'm gonna get her on. I just want to get an update here. I know because you guys I've seen some Food Not Bombs posts here, and got a few people you're looking for some resources for and things. Can you guys just give me an update, some things you're looking for right now?
So we're needing, obviously it's wet. It's been wet.
Right.
All weekend, all week. So if anybody has socks, blankets, anything, any shirts, sweatshirts, stuff like that.
I know it's not always the most softest material, but wool socks, wool blankets,
yes,
they are actually still provide warmth when they're wet.
Right.
So if you do have those, that would be very helpful.
Anything that, because a lot of our people have obviously don't have access to a dryer or
Sure.
things like that. So, and even they can't really get dry.
You know what's actually
anything
some of the
that's-
best blankets for some of these are those Army wool blankets that
Yeah.
you get in like basic training.
Yes.
I don't know if the guard has a stack of those somewhere, but if someone has
Yes,
some of those
please.
blankets, those are. I mean, yeah, they're not always the softest and most
Well-
cuttable, but they when they're wet they still provide warmth,
Yes,
and that's the
anything
important thing.
that blankets are, I just had a shout out to somebody that needed clothes. Obviously, they were
Okay.
sleeping in the park, so they made their way to Park and Jerk, and she's needing size 5 women's clothes,
Okay.
shirts, shoes, anything
Of course,
like
it's a
that.
little big. I'm sure as long as
it
it's
doesn't
dry and
matter.
warm, that's
But-
what matters.
And I mean, obviously, she's not the only one, but
Sure.
we do need things because we can hand them out.
Yeah, if you got
So-
sleeping bags, sweatshirts, I mean, even if you have tents, you don't need
Yes.
any more. Those would be helpful at this
Yeah,
point.
'cause at this point, I think we're still getting ready up until you said this morning, up until
Yeah,
next
today's
week.
another bad one, and
Yeah.
we've got rain chances, though lesser chances
Yes.
later this week. But water's water; it gets wet, and
yeah.
we're already saturated. So
And it's hard to replace those things, especially if you don't have it in the first place. If that's the only thing you get, and it's soaked.
well, and I imagine
So-
because a lot of times you'll see the homeless, and you'll see them going up and down the street, and they'll have a shopping cart
Yeah.
full of their possessions, all their
Right.
worldly possessions. Phone's ringing, so there you go. But if you can help out, so blankets and stuff, I would thank you, Jocelyn. I would, if you'd like to help out, please go to Food Not Bombs Roswell, New Mexico on Facebook, and reach out to Jocelyn and the staff there, and they'd be happy to help. Take your donations and things like that. I know that's something that they're really needing right now because, like you said, everything's wet. So they need clothing, they need blankets, they need. And if you got water and stuff like that too, please keep asking about that because that's a constant need. Even when the rains end up and it gets to be 150 again, like it normally is around here, they'll be needing that stuff too. So again, probably the best way is Food Not Bombs Roswell. There's a Facebook page that they have. Like it, follow it, and shoot a message to that, and that way they can. Whatever donations you have, things like that. And I thought that maybe it was our guest.
It was.
It is cool. They're here. Very good.
No, he can't come.
He can't make it?
He can't make his.
Oh, so we don't have a.
No.
Okay. Well, we're going to have another interview then.
Unfortunately, he can't get his chair here in the weather.
You know what? I was wondering about that.
yeah.
Okay. So we will reschedule them or
Reschedule.
get them.
But
Okay.
yes, please contact me or Food Not Bombs.
Yes.
So and we will take
Anything
donations.
you can do to help, even if it's
Yeah.
like those old school, the pocket warmers and
Yes.
those little things you shake like you get at the checkout line at Walmart. You know
Right.
those. Putting them in pockets. That's
Well,
every
and a
every
lot
little
of people
bit.
think that that's just winter, but once this temperature drops, it was kind of cold last night.
Hypothermia, like I was telling
it
this
was-
last hour, you're more likely to see hypothermia cases right now in the
Yeah.
summer than you are in the winter.
Right.
Just because of and this is the perfect storm, pardon the pun, for hypothermia
Yeah.
right here. If you're out in the elements and during the day, and that's just it. Even during the day when there's no sun, there's no place to warm up, to dry out. Once your body temperature hits a certain temperature, it's really hard to bring it back without, having serious
And
medical issues.
We encourage, if anything, socks, because walking around in wet socks,
Everybody's got wet
everything,
feet.
goes to your feet and makes you sick, and then
Shoot, even if you got some of them old school rubber boots,
Yes.
the
Rain
big-
boots.
Yeah, those rain boots and stuff. Those are
rain hats.
that would be helpful. Anything even if you've got ponchos and stuff,
Yes.
that would be great. Umbrellas, sure, but they're not as useful as the ponchos and the raincoats
Right.
because as soon as the wind hits, the umbrellas turn
Well,
to.
and it's you got to think that a lot of these people are on foot. It's hard to carry things like that, So anything that's like I
They
say,
can put on their
if they can
person.
put on their person, backpacks in their backpack.
Plus the
stuff like
poncho,
that.
they can layer up,
Right.
so they can literally put layers of clothing on, and throw the poncho over it, and ideally that keeps
Right.
everything dry.
And weather willing, hopefully we'll be out Friday serving.
Okay.
At the plaza. So if not, we will update before
Gotcha.
Friday.
I know a lot of stuff you've been doing is for homebound and
Right.
for folks right now, people that can't or shut-ins
Yes.
or are homeless and stuck at a place that can't, and that's just it. Like the lucky homeless population right now are couch surfing.
Yes.
That's the lucky ones. They're the ones.
Luckily, we haven't seen a lot of people I say that because we like to feed people, but
Yeah.
you know, if they're in a spot and we don't see them, that might be a good thing. So.
They've got the other needs.
Yeah.
They've got, they've got roof over their head, and they probably got a sandwich.
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
Like that.
So thank you, Mike.
But yes, of course. And folks, yeah, this is the thing is there's no other resources to help these folks. I mean, unless we the public, I know we have church groups that do amazing things, but this is what Food Not Bombs does. This is why I like to promote them as much as possible, because they're really just trying to help people where the help is needed. And so if you can help out with blankets and rain gear and warm clothing, please reach out. That would be a great thing. Even if you just have a sweatshirt, that's awesome. Thank you. That would be amazing. So even if it's one article of clothing, that's one person we can help protect a little bit here. So good stuff. We're going to have to come up with a new plan for our interview for this hour, so I will work on that here in just a little bit. We'll get that going here in just a little bit. We'll also get you up to date with the weather here. Like as we were talking, today looks like another day of rain, and matter of fact, we do have a flood watch. It's going to officially take effect at noon today, but that will keep going until midnight tonight. So we'll get you up to date with the latest on that. And then, like I said, we'll replay an interview here. I'm not exactly sure which one yet. I'll go through the vault and go see what we got here and do all that. Do want to remind you that next week when UFO Festival and all that hits, if you're looking for kind of plot and planning on what to do, check out the website, ufofestival.com. That's got every single event, activity, music thing, food, you name it. If it's part of UFO Festival, then it's part of that website there. So please check that out, ufofestival.com. All right, it is 14 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's get you up to date on that weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're going up to about 80 for the afternoon high today. Lots of clouds, and we have a lot of warm and humid air coming in from the south, so showers and thunderstorms looking pretty likely. Scattered showers and thunderstorms until about midnight tonight. We're in the low 60s, and then more showers and thunderstorms will be popping up on Thursday. Most of those in the afternoon, partly cloudy, upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 66 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 90% with winds out of the northwest at 3 miles per hour. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, we do have a flood watch that will take effect at noon today, remaining in effect through midnight tonight. For today, we are looking at an 80% chance of precipitation. We've already been getting it this morning. It will continue throughout the day. They're saying, and they give me the word salad of showers and thunderstorms this time, and then, that thing. But expect a high near 80 today under cloudy skies. Winds will be out of the south at 10 miles per hour. They're saying we could see anywhere between a tenth, and now they've backed off the rain amounts a little bit. They were saying up to a half inch earlier. Now they're saying between a tenth and a quarter of an inch of rain for today. Tonight, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before 9 p.m. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 66. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we're looking at a 50% chance for afternoon showers and thunderstorms, partly cloudy. A little warmer, 89 for a high, so that's good for the drying out for some folks. And it says partly cloudy, which means we might see some sun tomorrow. Maybe. That's a good thing. They're saying less than a tenth of an inch of rain tomorrow, unless we get a thunderstorm that rolls through. So that's also good news. Thursday night, 30% chance of rain, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 66. 30% chance on Friday as well, with a high of 89. 20% chance of rain Friday night with an overnight low of 65. Saturday, no talk of rain, just mostly sunny skies and a high of 92. It's going to be humid, though. It's going to be humid. I'm just telling you right now. It will be humid. Saturday night, we're looking at a 20% chance of rain. Sunday, a 20% chance of rain for the afternoon, otherwise sunny and 94. And then Monday and Tuesday next week, they're talking 30% chances of rain. However, mostly sunny for those days. Highs right around 89, 90 there. So we'll see how that all shapes up. All right. It is 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's take about a 3.5-minute break, and then I'll come back on the other side, and we'll introduce an interview. I'm not sure which I'll play yet. I will figure that out during the break. Then we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Bob Reed Pest Control. Reliable, professional, and experienced. The technicians at Bob Reed Pest Control have been providing pest management services for over 50 years and will continue to set high standards for their customers. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Everyone at Bob Reed Pest Control are trained and knowledgeable in the latest pest management practices, offering effective treatment plans for each situation. Bob Reed Pest Control. Find them online, BobReedPestControl.com, or call 575-623-5344. Serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
The summer of fun rolls on at Roswell Honda with a great selection of adventure-ready rides priced right, so you'll be ready for whatever summer throws your way. Get 2.99% for up to 36 months on Honda Pilot, HR-V, and CR-V hybrids, 1.99% for 36 months on all Ridgeline, or 4.99% for 48 months on all new Civic, and truckloads of all new inventory too. Start your summertime adventure during the summer of fun at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
Our world is in desperate need of kindness. In the Apostle Paul's letter to Titus and the church in Crete, he encourages them to be peaceable and considerate, and always to be gentle toward everyone. So why do we need to be kind? Then Paul writes this, "But when the kindness and love of God our Savior appeared, he saved us, not because of righteous things we had done, but because of his mercy." I think what Paul is saying is that we're called to be kind and considerate of others because of the kindness that God has shown us by forgiving our sins. We are kind in response to the kindness that we've been shown. God doesn't call us to agree on everything. He just calls us to be kind. I love this quote, "If you have to choose between being kind and being right, choose being kind and you'll always be right." There's so much meanness and division in our world. Choose today to be kind to those who you encounter. You will be amazed at the positive difference a little kindness can make.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Growing things in Roswell is a battle. Your lawn's trying to turn brown, your trees are wanting to turn yellow, the weeds want to take over, and the fleas and ticks are trying to move in. So come down to Roswell Seed Company and choose your weapons. We have fertilizer to make your lawn lush and lovely, iron to keep your trees nice and green, sprays to kill the weeds, and more sprays to chase away the fleas and ticks. This is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. Yeah, it's a jungle out there, except it never rains.
Our favorite boys from Texas are back. The Emmy Award-winning Texas Tenors invite you to celebrate a huge milestone with them. 15 years together. Bring the whole family and celebrate at the Spencer Theater on July 5th. Get your tickets online at spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock. And so as soon as I get a thumbs up sign from Jocelyn, I know she's got to get ready on her end with the interviews. But we're going to play our interview we had yesterday in the 7 o'clock hour with Elaine Mayfield talking about Galacticon. Give us an update on some of the events and things that are going to be part of this year's Galacticon, which is all encompassing part of the UFO festival as well here. So are you good, Jocelyn? Are you're still working? Yeah. Gotta love the internet. It works great when you don't need it to. And when you absolutely need it, that's when it takes a big... We're almost there. Hold. Hold. Feeling like Braveheart all of a sudden.
Reminds me of that commercial where they're going to purchase a car.
Oh, yeah.
And she's all, hold.
Yeah.
now, right in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that was it's the couple.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I
It's
can't
the
remember
famous.
the name
yeah,
either.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They do. I think they've done a couple of those commercials, for, like CarMax or.
I think it is.
Yeah,
where you buy.
One of those, but yeah. So but Elaine joined us yesterday and talked a little bit about some of the things that are planned for this year's Galacticon, which is in a new location this year because of the convention center not being available from the floods from last year. So they're going to have Galacticon in the what used to be known as Roswell Home Furnishings. It's the building right across the street from the UFO Museum. And they actually, I believe, good deal. I believe the UFO Museum purchased that property, and they're letting Galacticon use it for the weekend.
Oh,
I believe
okay.
that's my understanding. So I got the thumbs up from Jocelyn, so we can raise our kilts and run across the field now.
And now.
Here is our interview with Elaine Mayfield talking Galacticon. Enjoy. Studio this morning. Hey, we used a space theme one.
Absolutely.
Elaine Mayfield joining us talking Galacticon.
What a way to get
this morning.
introduced.
That's right. Good morning, Elaine. How are you
Good
doing
morning.
today?
I'm good. You got me 2 times in a row at 7:15. Yeah.
Well, we get this is the early bird group. This is the people that are getting to work and
When
everything.
I retired, I swore I'd never get up early again.
Yeah, I hear you. I get it. Well, that's right. It's all for a good cause.
It is. It is. And actually, it's good because there's a parking place out front.
This is true. This is what you get to park in the morning here. But yes, Galacticon is on as usual. Part of UFO Festival. The only big difference is it's downtown now, right across from the museum here for this year. So.
Right. Yes. 119.
Yeah, if you're old school, the old Roswell Furnishings.
It's the old Lazy Boy show.
Yeah.
That's what we love.
Yeah,
We're in the
exactly.
Lazy Boy.
They didn't leave a few lazy boys in there, did they?
Exactly.
Just, yeah, I'll be over here in my costume in this nice Lazy Boy recliner.
That's right.
But, yeah, Galacticon is on, and it's going to be, like we said, a little different than years past because of the new home here.
Right.
But what it really did is we have less room, but we're going to pack every square inch of it with action and all kinds of stuff to do. So it's going to probably seem bigger in a smaller room, probably a little bit, just because everything's going to be kind of right on top of it.
Well, yeah, we were sitting around talking, and all of a sudden one of my board members said, "We need to hire a custodian." And I went, "Oh, gosh, yes." Sorry, Zach and Justin.
Right.
Miss you.
But for folks that aren't familiar or have never been to Galacticon before, it is it's like if you think of like your Comic Cons and things like that, this one is in that same vein, but this all deals with kind of the just all encompassing of
We call
sci-fi.
it Sci-Fi Con.
Yeah, it really encompasses, so you're going to have, now in years past, they've kind of had a steampunk as a main theme. So that has always been a part of this Galacticon. So regardless of what the theme is, there's always going to be a steampunk just stamp on there as all.
Yeah, a little bit of our history.
Yeah. But it's really, it's all things cosplay and space. And so really, if you just love science fiction and you love that stuff, or you love the collectibles that come with all these things, then Galacticon's going to be for you. We would love, and this is your chance. Like if you want to come in costume, of course, enter the costume contest and everything that's going on with the UFO Festival and all that. Of course, Galacticon has their own cosplay contest as well too. But this is your chance to, if you love to do those things, to go be opposite of Joe or Jane Q. Public here today. You get to be so-and-so from the planet so-and-so or whatever it is.
Yeah, and we set it up where you can just do it all in one day and do it all day.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what it's all about. Now, if you love collecting, even comic books, things like it.
We do have 2 comic book people this year, which we're always looking for, make sure we have a comic book.
Yeah, well, and that's, I almost think you can't call anything a con unless there is a comic book.
Well, that was the history of it.
Yeah, that's initially your first comic cons were literally a room with a bunch of boxes and comic books in it, and these
comic convention.
Yeah, and collectors would go through, and it was their Shangri-La, and then it evolved, and now the San Diego Comic-Con, which is the one that's probably most noted.
Have you seen the prices to get into San Diego?
Yeah, it's like going to Disney World.
It is. It's like $300.
But you have to fight to get in because there's about 1 million people all trying to get the same X thousands of tickets or whatever's available here. So it's really, you almost have to know a guy to get into some of those.
Yeah,
but,
we only charge $5.
Yeah.
And it's $300 or something.
Yeah, but it's also the Comic-Con has kind of evolved into now like the place where summer blockbuster or science fiction type movies are getting their first releases and things. Like,
yes,
you want to see
and
the
the
latest
stars will be there.
Yeah, usually
at a very big cost. I wish we could do that.
Yeah, no, we can't bring Brad Pitt and George Clooney and whoever else.
No.
But or Samuel Jackson. He's in every movie known to man. So he's about half dozen Star Wars. but that's the cool part about this is you really get to meet people that are into the space and science fiction stuff just like you. Everyone has their niches, and that's of course part of the fun too.
That's right.
The debates of and explore, and of course with cosplay, which we talked a little bit about last time. That's kind of that's more than just putting on a Star Wars costume or putting on you're kind of it's almost like a Chautauqua where where if you're familiar with that. You create the person and you're the persona. You're that person. Generally, a lot of speaking in cosplay, they'll create a fictitious character in the world created by the universe. So, like for instance, Star Wars. Maybe I'm a maintenance worker in the Death Star, or I'm a something like that, or like in. I don't know, Star Trek. I'm a Romulan from this thing, and my family was this. It's just whatever. Everyone makes their own backstory up, kind of.
Right.
And that's part of that fun too. So that's really what Galacticon is, celebrating all things just science fiction and just all the cool stuff that evoking memories from kids and even carrying that on as to adults and sharing it with their families now. And that's really what Galacticon's all about, is that.
Yeah, and we really encourage you to come in costume.
Absolutely.
It's fun.
Please do. Just for your own benefit, make it so you have cooling abilities or it doesn't, because it will be usually, I'm just saying, it's usually hot during UFO Festival.
We are air conditioned.
That's right. So, but you'll be fine till you go outside.
Right.
Then you melt.
Yeah, that's one of our advantages. We are inside with air conditioning.
Which is a beauty, and that's, to be honest, makes Galacticon very probably more so this year since you're downtown. Literally, people get tired and hot and like, oh, let's go in there. $5, yes, I'll pay $5 and let's and then you're gonna stumble around through some really cool stuff.
And I do want to say that the $5 is to pay the rent.
Yes.
We're not in it making money and stuff of that sort. We
Absolutely.
just want to pay the rent and offer this to the public.
And it's going to be, and it actually is a cool part because you're really right in the heart of everything now. And you stumble out of the museum and come right across the street to Galacticon there. I know they're going to have like an escape room right there near you as well, too, and all that. The
2 doors
room.
down.
Yeah, it's right all there. So you're really like right in a really good section of the heart of the UFO Festival here.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So please make a point when you're out and about to come in and see Galacticon and check it out and sign up for workshops. Like if you want to learn how to make some of this stuff or there's a lot of special events and things that are part of Galacticon as there is every year.
Right. Yeah, and that's one thing I thought we'd cover today is some of our special things that we have going on. And, of course, one of the big things is the flying saucer car or the UFO car. We had it last year.
When's he going to fire it up and start heading?
Last year he came in like Wednesday night.
Okay. Well, he might.
He drives from Indiana.
I'm about to say it took him probably longer than anticipated to get here the first time.
Well, yeah, they kept getting stopped by state cops.
So I imagine he's going to work that into the itinerary this time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone started following it last year on the internet, and they had, 500,000 viewers.
That is so
and it was
cool.
a lot of fun. And this year I'm going to have a liaison that is going to be in touch with them the whole way down, and hopefully we're going to hand that off to you, and you can say, remember when we were kids, they'd follow Santa Claus?
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of what's in my mind, is to kind of track him down.
Yeah.
You know, we just hit Oklahoma. We got stopped again.
Well, and if we want to go full Hollywood, I envision dress our correspondent like the Men in Black style, like, all right, he's moving through Indiana now. Just like they're spying on him.
Exactly. Exactly.
Keeping tabs.
Yes. So we were going to play that through the radio.
Yeah.
And we also have a wonderful Facebook page that we had a person this year that has been putting on all kinds of music-oriented memes, and they're
cool.
just hysterical. Girls just want to have fun as 3 alien girls dancing around,
Nice.
and little things like that. I think on the one that you would like on Father's Day was kind of a back cartoonish picture of Luke with Darth Vader had his arm around him and said, I know, but he's your father, even if he did cut off your hand. So she's had a lot of fun with it, and people are really responding. We've had 10,700 views.
Cool.
Yeah, in a month.
Good. So like and follow that. What's the name of that?
That's Roswell Galacticon.
Roswell Galacticon. Follow that Facebook page.
Right.
Just like and follow on Facebook. That way you can get the updates too. And of course, that'll be a place we also post the updates of where in the USO is the UFO
Where's
car.
the UFO car? And the guy that builds it, his name's Steve Anderson.
Yeah.
And actually, he was working on a Jetson car, which
I'll
I
be
was so
excited
excited
to see that.
But the bubble blew off of the delivery truck somewhere, and the guy didn't know it.
Yeah.
And so
and
he
imagine-
did not get a bubble, and he couldn't do it.
And you can't have the jet because it's literally the bubble.
It's the bubble.
The little fin.
Yeah.
And then it makes that noise when it takes off. That's
Exactly,
that's the
that's
Jetsons car. Can you get it to fold up into a suitcase? Because that was his car folded up into the briefcase, if I remember right there. Yeah.
He said he did have a big cutout of Rosie to bring. So,
Ooh.
But anyway, hopefully maybe we'll get the Jetson next year.
That would be great.
And I want to thank, again, one of our sponsors, or 2 of our sponsors, and that's the Roswell Chamber of Commerce and Krumman Auto Group.
Awesome.
Are sponsoring half of it. And then I got permission, since it is free to the public. It'll be in front of the building on the street.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it during the day, during
Just
the
walk
festival
by,
right there
yeah.
in front, and it will also be in the light parade on Saturday too. So
And so we did get some sponsorship from the city on that as well.
Awesome. Very
for
good.
Lodgers tax.
So it'll be making appearances all over town, the Galacticon and UFO Festival weekend.
I know
here, so.
they were at the hotel last year, and it was constant cars pulling into that hotel parking lot. So
I mean, it sticks out a little bit.
yeah, especially on Main Street. So, but anyway, it's a lot of fun, and it is a freebie.
Cool. And I think like when it's parked there, you can kind of look inside and see.
Yeah, you can do selfies and pics and talk to Steve, and he will be in a few other places that he's allowed to charge for a ride or whatever.
Oh, cool.
But during the UFO hours, it's free.
Good
to
deal. Well, he's
public.
probably going to pay for his trip, so that's how he does that.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what.
And bubbles.
That's the part people don't think is he's doing a lot of this on his own dime. He builds these cars and he's coming here and then.
He has to pay for a bubble.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. Well, I just feel like that's not just something you can run to the store and pick. I need a big bubble the size of for a Jetsons car.
I don't know where he found that, but it was.
Bill, that's a custom build.
So the guy drives up in his yard and says, and Steve's like, "Where's the bubble?" I don't know. It's not. Blew off
bubble
back
blew away,
there.
man. No bubble, man.
Okay. Golly.
Well, that's a bummer.
We also have Frank Renda. He's from Austin area with the droids.
Oh,
Did you see
okay.
them?
Yeah.
They've got 3 working R2D2 type droids that are amazing. They're on remote control. They move around.
So they'll be like doing
spin.
meet and greets around Galacticon all
well,
weekend.
you know, he's been at the UFO Museum for a few years,
Okay.
but I got him to kind of go back and
So
forth.
he's gonna be
so
kinda-
now he just has to go across the street.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wonder if he can drive it on its own across. Because there's some
I don't
curves
know.
there. I don't know, but if you hit
It's
the
a good-
ramps and
it's good pavement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But
as long as
he's
there's
always so fun, and the kids just dance with him. They're fascinated.
well, they're about their size. They're eye level.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a green one, a red one, and a blue one, I think.
Very
so they're
cool.
they're very similar, but not so.
Nice. They look like the droids of this. These are not the droids you're looking for.
Super nice guy, retired military, very nice guy.
I got a feeling he was he was turning wrenches in the military. Hence the reason why he's making droid robots.
Could be. I'll have to find out.
He's got a mechanical background, methinks. But anyway.
But they are really cool.
Yeah.
And it's a nice guy, and you can dance with them. The kids
You get pictures and all
with
kinds
it
of
and
stuff.
everything else. Yeah.
And I guess if you want to learn how to build your own, I'm sure you can try to see if you can try a few secrets.
There is an organization or a club, national club.
Oh, wow.
That do these.
Oh, cool. And I bet he's a part of it.
He's got a big banner up that has that listed.
So I'm sure he'd love to tell you about that if you're interested. Too.
Absolutely.
You build your own.
Yeah.
Maybe you can build some C-3POs to go with his R2-D2s.
That would be a little hard. Maybe he should dress up like C-3PO. Let's see. We've got our artist coming back, Steve Garcia.
Yes.
Fabulous artist.
Yeah.
He's from Albuquerque, grew up in Albuquerque, and he has done Iron Giant.
Yeah,
I keep
Iron Giant.
Changing that. Iron Giant, and actually done work on The Simpsons illustrations and
nice.
stuff. A lot of other sci-fi sources, and just the nicest guy in the world.
I wonder if he was part of the early Simpsons stuff before they sent it to Korea. Because I think, like, after a season or two, they started sending their animation to Korea or something.
I bet you're right.
Yeah,
I
so I
bet
wonder
you're
if in
right.
those early days, he
Yeah.
was part of that. So
And his artwork is really good, and just real nice to visit with. That's one thing I say. Most of our Galacticon people are just real pleasure to visit with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, and this is cool and plus, like, for him, you get to talk, and I think he's going to be doing a couple panel discussions during the event, and you get to talk.
Not sure.
Okay.
We did that last year because we had the rooms.
Okay.
But we're not sure what
Put
we're
it this way,
gonna be able to do.
but like, if you want to pick his brain,
Oh,
I mean, that's
absolutely.
kind of, he'll be there, selling and checking out his art, but he'll be doing meet and greets, and I'm sure signing autographs,
Yeah.
and
he, like I said, from New Mexico, so he knows.
Yeah, and if you're interested in, maybe a career in animation and that kind of thing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a pretty valuable resource to brain to pick
Absolutely.
on that.
Yes.
I mean, he's literally been at the highest levels doing this. I mean, Iron Giant was a major Hollywood blockbuster movie.
Right.
And,
Absolutely.
yeah.
He's bringing with him a friend an artist named Zach Spivey.
Okay.
It's also
That
an
name sounds
illustrator.
familiar.
Yeah.
That name
I think
sounds
he's
familiar.
been around a while too.
Okay.
So we'll have those two artists, and we have Ralph. And I think Sanders. That's
Okay.
it. Was here last year. He's been here every year,
Mhm.
and he's one that, I mean, literally sent me an email a week after the flood and said, "Is everybody okay?" Loves coming down here, does well, and again, very nice to talk to.
Yeah.
So he'll be here as well. So we got the
cool.
art covered.
And these folks love coming to Roswell and
They
do this because, I
do.
mean, Roswell, it's got the international stamp.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Roswell, and so we do get blessed to bring people of very high caliber to come to be at events like this. And-
Exactly. The speakers at the UFO Museum are
Oh, yeah.
internationally
Mhm.
known and favored.
Well, and because of that, and this is the cool part for folks that are new to the area or don't realize, really the UFO Festival, the whole encompassing umbrella of it is kind of a several-pronged thing where the Galacticon, and that's very much one part of it. There is the party side of it, where it's more about we put on the hats, we celebrate,
Right.
we do all. But the other leg of this thing is the doctors, the people with the PhDs, the UFOologists and scientists that are actually studying some of this. Now, that goes from one spectrum to the other. I mean, you get the wild stories
Absolutely.
of the alien took my whatever to things that have been scientifically proven something happened, but they can't explain, kind of like the Fire in the Sky guy. I've interviewed him several
Travis.
times. Yeah, Travis Walton. That's something happened there. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I've talked to that man, and there's clear he's a funny but odd dude. But you get these folks, and then you get some of these doctors and they're literally kind of like the stuff from the crash site, and they're finding stuff that elements that aren't, and there's science has proven this stuff is not
exactly.
there. So that's as much as part of that this weekend is the tinfoil hats and everything else.
Well,
too.
I've been working this since 2007 when the city first did one under
Mhm.
Renee Roach, and I think I've told her before that I've kind of always ended up running the vendor hall. That was kind of my area.
That's where your niche ended up.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
And but I've had 3 old men in their 80s show up with their eldest son, all 3 of them, at different times, and say, "I need to talk to someone," and they were either in the Army picking up pieces or on the planes that flew pieces out.
Sure.
And they want to tell their story before they die.
Yeah. And we're at that age.
They're
you know,
serious and all. And I always, Peter Robbins has become a friend of mine from New York, a ufologist. And he's about 5'2", a little guy, gentle guy. And I always just called him and said, come on, we got another one. And he'll take him into a room and talk with him.
Wow.
So there's this whole side of that.
Yeah.
That people, like you said, the hats and the fun and the silly.
Sure.
But there's a whole serious side of this that is very meaningful and kind of scary for them.
Absolutely. Well, because, I mean,
they were threatened with their lives and their
oh,
families'
yeah, that's
lives.
the thing, in the military, and it's as a guy who was just in one little inch of the military and knows how that operates and never got to that level, obviously, but I can imagine. But think about it, and just in your own brain, like in your own experience, say you had an experience, you're seeing, I don't know, dead aliens on stretchers walking around, or people carrying red, and you're seeing that, and then someone grabs you up and says, if you talk about this,
not see that.
You will disappear and not be seen again. You know what I mean?
And your family.
Yeah. That's going to make you feel a certain way. And then you're like, how many times do you want to say something? And especially when people talk and you're like,
especially the 80-year-old men, which at that time that they were in the armed forces were, patriotic, not going to want to miss anything.
Absolutely.
And that all happened right after World War II. And that's the key to this whole thing.
Sure.
And then the other serious side of it's abduction. And I kind of cringe when people really make fun of that because these people are serious.
Yeah. Well, that's the Travis
Walton story. Whether it happened or not, they feel it did.
Travis Walton story is pretty fascinating. And if you get bored, go rent a movie. It came out, I'm going to say in the 90s, called Fire in the Sky. It stars D.B. Sweeney. James Gardner's in it.
I love D.B. Sweeney.
Yeah, but D.B. Sweeney's plays Travis. James Gardner's in it, plays the sheriff of the town.
Yeah, that's right.
The guy that's Terminator 2, I can't remember his name, something Patrick or whatever. He plays Travis's older brother in that. And there's another famous one, like a 90s kid that was kind of famous. It's in it. Ethan Hawke or something like that. It's in it too. But anyway, basically, it's the true story of these guys were loggers in Arizona. And they were up in the mountains on their logging job, and next thing you know, they see the lights and everything, and so they started riding their pickup truck in the middle of the forest to these lights. They get near the lights. Travis Walton gets out of the truck and walks up, and next thing you know, the light grabs him, beams him up, and sucks him off, and they disappear. And he went missing, and and this is all a true story. They got documentation on all this. The loggers, the guys went back to town and reported Travis missing and abducted, and they basically didn't believe him, obviously.
Of course.
After 3 days he was gone, these guys were about to get charged with murder. And then all of a sudden he showed up 3 days later in the middle of the woods. I mean, in the movie they put him in a gas station and stuff, but what Travis says, that's not how it went down. But they basically turned up and he was gone for 3 days. And Travis, he's talking about the experiments and things, and people believe him, don't believe him, and that's been the story, and that's what the movie is. It's like, because his friends, his buddies, but they're about to get charged with murder, and then he just turned up all of a sudden, and he recounts his story of being abducted and all that, and so that's the movie. But it's and here's the thing, it gets me is and when if you talk to Travis, he has books and things he sells, but there was a DVD that I watched of his that if you go back today to the crash site, to the site where this went down, there's all kinds of weird anomalies. Like the trees in that area are a little stunted, and like you can still see, like there's evidence that something happened right there with, I don't know if it's radiation levels or whatever it is, but just there's all kinds of weird anomalies right at that spot. So something happened there.
Something happened. And that's, like I said with the abduction thing, whether you believe it or not, they believe it. And so it's nothing to make fun of.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's really cool. But anyway, that's all part of this weekend. Galacticon kind of I know we went on off a tangent here.
But we do that.
But this is kind of why we get the caliber of people, and it's the same thing with Galacticon. When you're getting guys that, we're lucky because he's New Mexican, but that's really, they come down to Roswell here, and like you said, some of these folks really will travel all across the country because they want to be here in Roswell.
They want to be heard.
Where we are the Graceland for UFO stuff. It's just, that's...
Exactly.
You know,
I do want to say, too, if you haven't been to the UFO Museum in a while, they have really made it more techie.
Oh, yeah, they've added a lot of upgrades.
A lot of
and
upgrades.
new things,
and I went through with my cousin was here and wanted to see it. And I actually walked with them. I've been over there 100 times with Alan Trevor as he's working on things. But I walked through and kind of did the thing. And it's wonderful. And there's a lot of interactive and things of that sort. So.
And I would tell your out-of-town friends and family if they're coming into town for UFO Festival, and when they're done going to the UFO Museum and seeing all that, make a point to take them to the Walker Aviation Museum, and they can kind of pick up more of the history with the base and the military and everything there.
Yeah, we have 7 museums.
Yeah.
And 2 are kind
and
of
of course,
out of commission
the
right
Historical
now.
Society, well, we can do a quick plug for other things.
Absolutely.
While you're doing that thing, we're also on 4th of July, we're going to be having a little shindig over at the Historical Society.
Yes, on 4th is a Friday.
Yeah, but just a block over from Main Street. You can walk on over if you want and come and enjoy just a classic 4th of July little celebration. I mean, we won't be shooting off fireworks.
1 to 4.
Yeah, but we'll have, think of the picnic. You kind of sit out in the grass and have some lemonade.
Exactly. And they're going to have a couple of things to see, some statics, a stock car.
Yeah.
That and I think the chuck wagon's going to be there.
Oh, good.
Too. Yeah.
Well, and I hear they might be retiring soon, so we're not going to have many.
See it.
Yeah, your opportunities to participate in that are getting slim.
The Drewston.
Yeah, that's
maybe
exactly. Someone else will pick that mantle up. Do they got family that want to take over? I don't know. That's the problem.
Don't know about that one.
but yeah, we'd love to invite. So, but incorporate all of that. There's so much going on at that weekend, and do as much of it as locals get to enjoy some of this. Maybe maybe you're done with this part, but come check out Galacticon, and then go check out the Historical
Another aspect
Society.
that we do want to touch on is gaming.
Absolutely, that's another
we're
thing.
A big part of gaming is a huge part of the whole sci-fi scene, and Matt Bromley is here. Locally.
They'll be doing like game tournaments throughout the weekend and all that.
Yeah, they're playing, and they're doing one where they're actually playing every minute of the weekend.
Okay.
And they do Dungeons and Dragons.
I was say it's not all video games either. It's board games.
We're not doing video games. We don't have room this year.
Gotcha. This is all board games and
tabletop and role playing.
Tabletop role playing.
Yeah. And which means that you sit at a table and you're the...
Think of Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering.
We will have Dungeons and
Dragons. Those
Dragons.
types of games.
Yes.
We generally card games. Generally, there's a lot of cards or D&D. It's a lot of those graphs and charts.
Oh,
and
they build
maps.
these terrains that, 3D.
I remember as a kid, you had to get graph paper, not for school, for Dungeons and Dragons.
But they have a wonderful group that come and do this from all over, the friends of Matt's, and they come every year.
Oh, cool.
And again, we're about half the size we were. So we have 20 regular booths, another 10 to 12 writers, tables, and things of that sort, and 3 rooms of gaming. So there's office rooms.
There's still quite a bit going on in our limited
we're
space.
We're packed in, that's for sure. Yeah, we couldn't get pipe and drape anywhere around here, so we've got dividers and everything. So it's a little different, but it's a very 42 feet wide.
It will be a close family style Galacticon this year.
It's going to be it's 42 feet wide and about 180 feet long. So it's kind of a long, lazy boy.
You're going to need one by the end of the day after that one. But
and then
it's going to be fun.
We also have our Star Child Academy, which I've been wanting to do for many years and finally found the right person.
Good.
Angela Strange.
Excellent.
And she does little activities that can take away something.
Oh, cool. So the kids get
a little meteor.
A keepsake or whatever.
Things like that. Keepsake, yeah. So that's all good. Children 10 and under are free.
Very good. And then
11 and older are $5.
So hit your kids with a little steam while you're
steam. Absolutely.
But and again, it all runs during the UFO festival, and so Thursday.
Thursday night we have our karaoke.
Yeah, that'll be the karaoke party
Pepper's
night
Patio.
at Pepper's, their annual tradition.
Yes.
They invite the public to come, but that's generally like all the cons. I don't know what you call them, conners, con staff.
They're not convicts.
Yeah, but all the folks are coming into town that are going to participate in the con as vendors and things. Generally, this is their family reunion, get together party.
Exactly.
And,
it's a meet and greet almost.
But if you want to meet people and come out, come and have a lovely dinner with us at Peppers and enjoy some time off.
Peter Powell, our steampunk guy, is doing the karaoke.
Okay.
And he's very good at it and
So,
been handling it for years.
Does the karaoke theme with the con, or does it go wherever it goes?
Both.
Okay.
Both. He does have a library of appropriate
Okay.
sci-fi type songs and things of that sort.
Because I ain't going to lie, if I see someone dressed as Darth Vader singing It's Raining Men, that's about the funniest thing I think I've ever going to see.
That's a good one, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and they lend us the patio, and so we go from like 6 to 9 because the kitchen closes at 9.
Right.
But we're always there a little longer and everything. But
You shut the place down.
Anything you want to drink, they have a bar kind of set up where it's easy, and kitchen drinking food's on you.
Yeah.
So there's no charge. It's just come on down.
Just come and meet
celebrate
and
with us.
bingle and come out
Right.
and get ready for Galacticon weekend.
Yeah,
there,
and we
so.
thank the Rose for supporting us for so many years.
Yeah. They who knows? There might be a few of the wait staff that got their own little costumes and
That's right.
ready for the weekend too. But again, this all coincides with UFO Festival. Now, for the gaming, do they need to pre-register for any of that, or can they just
don't have
roll
to,
on
no.
in
They
and
just
just start
show up.
playing? And,
There's-
okay.
Yeah, everything's going on, and it just stays busy.
Yeah. Oh, and you said we talked last time. T-dueling will be a part of this
Yes,
year's.
and that will be Sunday, I think at 11.
Okay, and that's I always recommend if you've never seen that's a lot of fun. That goes into kind of the steampunk culture a little bit here, and or British.
Yes.
Think of basically tea-dueling is they get a like you think of your British cup of tea, your hot tea. And then they have your biscuit, or
Which is a cookie.
whatever, depending on where you're from.
Right.
and basically, each contestant has to dip their biscuit in the tea for X amount of time. And then to start the contest, they pull the biscuit out the tea, and then they basically got to psych each other out to try to get each other's cookie to break or biscuit to break first. And you can't touch them. But you could do gestures or talk smack or do any kind of thing.
Talk smack is what most of them will
But
do.
maybe occasionally you might do a boo or something like that. Just But
But if you get somebody laughing, they're shaking.
Yeah, that's it. Just kind of get them. But and then obviously the cookie crumbles, and then
Right.
the last one for that to do wins. Basically,
That's right.
So. I imagine they could have is it usually a one-on-one, or can they get like a six-pack going here? And
They usually do one-on-one. You face each other one-on-one.
Well, that's the dueling part.
Yeah.
But I didn't know technically you
It's
could have
an elimination.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun, and
It
I
is.
highly recommend you come out and do that. But that'll be on Sunday there, about 11 time.
About
frame.
11, yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, you can come out and get commentary for us.
there you go. We could do play-by-play.
You can do play-by-play on the tea-dueling. You want to
Well,
do it? Come.
I might. The problem with there is I don't want to taint the contestants because I might say something to make them both laugh, and then do I win?
Well, you could introduce.
There you go.
And then we could talk like golf.
That's right, real sweet. All right. He's dipping the tea in the
He's dipping in biscuit now. He's dipping in biscuit.
He's angling it slightly. I wonder if that's for his advantage. Get less suckage.
See,
of
you
the
could
cookie.
do that. That'd be fun.
But again, another great aspect. Now, I recommend if you go, there's a couple places you can go online. You can kind of see a complete schedule of events for everything going on with Galacticon this
Right.
weekend. Basically, is it galacticon.com?
Roswell Galactic.
RoswellGalacticon.com. I knew it was
Right.
close. That is the website. You can go there. I also remind you can go to the official UFO Festival website,
Right.
which is UFOfestival.com, and that's got not only will have the Galacticon schedule, but it have everything that's going on with UFO
Yes,
Festival.
and the city through their advertising from Lodgers Tax are doing a large 11 by 17 tear sheet.
Okay,
And
yeah,
they
in the
did that
Daily
last
Record,
year,
yeah.
and that has all the
So pull that out of that
schedules and
Wednesday
everything,
paper.
locations.
Yeah.
No, that's a tear sheet that you
Oh,
can pick
okay.
up anywhere.
Okay.
The supplement you're talking about that Chris Stock does such a great job on, they will be out Wednesday this year.
That'll be that
because
Wednesday
we're
before
kind
the
of backed up a little and gave people something to do on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, now that the festival's actually expanded a day here, where it used to be just kind of a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
Now, technically Wednesday, this thing really starts, and then it
Yes.
kind of, really technically, and then Thursday officially kicks off.
Right. And that supplement is prepared every year.
Yeah.
And RDR's doing a great job on
But
that.
you can get a copy of that, or like you said, you
Yeah.
can go to RoswellGalacticon.com to get everything. The kind of, especially if you want to
ahead of time. Yeah,
definitely want to be a part of that vendors thing or that tea dueling thing, or whatever. That way you can kind of plot and plan when those are going on there. Like you said, it's $5 admission into Galacticon. Is there a whole weekend pass?
Yes, the VIP pass is $25.
Okay.
And it includes a bag and a T-shirt and a badge.
You get some swag, which includes collectibles. Which,
yeah, definitely.
Let's face it. Everyone that comes to these events, they want collectibles because that's part of the thing is the experience, the collectibles and volunteering. And I'll tell you this too, and we'll talk Main Street next hour, but they need volunteers and stuff. And usually for volunteering, you get collectibles and swag that are exclusive too.
Exactly.
And I imagine even with Galacticon, if you're wanting to help out there's probably a few perks that you get to enjoy as part of that.
There you go.
Too. So.
Absolutely. For a few years ago, I did a Minion shirt, a bright yellow shirt that says Minion on it, and people were wanting those bad.
People it's all of a sudden things get a monetary value to some point. It's really cool. So
they love the Minion shirt.
So please come out and then just come support all these vendors. Like if you're a collectibles person, whether it's comic books or probably figurines or if you're the clothing and the accoutrement that goes with cosplay, there's going to be a lot of vendors, a lot of folks that are experts in these fields. So you get a chance to talk with those folks, learn and get plugged into the communities too. If you're trying to get plugged in, that's a great way to do that. So, and who knows, maybe next time you're one of these folks out here doing this stuff but come be a part and come bring your thing, bring your unique thing and while we got you here, I just saw the time. We're about to get kicked off here. RoswellGalacticon.com is where we need to go to. Also, if you want to sign up for the cosplay costume contest and all that stuff, through the website. And that's also
on those sites.
Yeah, very good.
That you mentioned.
Do we get it all? I just realized I was like, oh man, it's 8:00. We
can always talk.
Yeah, they get mad when I get over news and stuff like that too. But we'll see you guys next time here, and folks, make Galacticon a part of your UFO Elaine Festival from weekend. Galacticon. Before we go, I do want to in the last half hour or so here, the city of Roswell has put a thing out issuing some road closures due to weather for today. North Sycamore Avenue is closed at Enchanted Lands Park. Conocito Drive between Riverside Drive and West 4th Street is closed. The area around the intersection of Montana Avenue and West 4th Street is closed. The intersection of North Kentucky Avenue and West 6th Street are closed. The bridge east of Mescalero Road, just east of Urton Road, and north of the Roswell Country Club is also closed. They may have some additional closures. Now, on our Facebook page, Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page, we've got the post there. As they get more closures, they'll add it to that list. So keep checking back if you start seeing some stuff there. But just want to let you know about some of that before we go. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. You're listening 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Take care, everybody. Stay dry.
Trump. Here's White House correspondent Greg Clugston.
At the NATO summit in the Netherlands, nearly all 32 alliance members voted to boost defense spending by 5% of their nation's GDP. President Trump called it a big win for Europe and for Western civilization.
It's a monumental win for the United States because we were carrying much more than our fair share. It was quite unfair, actually.
He said the increase will add more than $1 trillion per year to NATO's common defense. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Also at townhall.com, UN nuclear watchdog chief Rafael Grossi says some of Iran's nuclear facilities survived the U.S. and Israeli attacks.
The reconstruction of the infrastructure is not impossible. There has been some that survived the attacks, and then this is work that Iran knows how to do.
And he adds his agency will follow up.
Imagine that this material is there. So